What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. This is the Monday Night Wave. I go by Jay. I'm your host. I'm the Babyface's Babyface. We're now live with episode 15 of them things. 15. I wish I knew how to say 15 in French, but I don't. Without further ado, you know what's going to happen. We're going to pass it all to my man, the one and only. Go ahead, take it from here.
Don't you dare be sour! Clap for your king of gorgeous and feel my power. It's Hero. Yes, it is. Hey, everybody. It's the king of gorgeous. The wild card, Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. It is Hero.
I'm sorry, my ears popped too. I did not expect this nigga to do that shit.
My bad. And Kenny Lone Mega, I got a question for you, bro.
What we got?
What do you want to pod about, bro? It is good wrestling week.
It is. This has been a great wrestling week. We have a lot going on. There's a lot of stories being told between all shows right now, and I'm locked the fuck in. Let's get into it. We don't got any questions, but we'll start off with the news today.
Yeah, we have a pay-per-view with reactions that we'll do, so you guys are still getting a good show. Don't worry about the questions.
Absolutely. As far as news, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Yes.
Viva La Vegas. We just talked about it too. Where like, damn, it's just happening. Like, you just want to be in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Do you understand how crazy that is, bro?
Yeah, I'm excited. Soon as that news came out, my wife was texting her uncle because her uncle lives in Vegas. I will be there. I might not be at Mania, but I'm going to be in Vegas. Absolutely.
In the city.
I got to be in the city.
For sure.
I got to be in the city. I'm trying to go to the Access or something. Definitely trying to go to Wale Mania. But yeah, man, I'm excited. And we also talked about it. They pushed the date a little bit, and I feel like they found the sweet spot where it's right before NBA playoffs and right after the Final Four. So
hey, they put night twos on 420.
Hey, yeah. You know the time I'm gonna be on.
Oh man,
I'm gonna be in Raider Stadium
high as fuck. I'm assuming that Allegiant Stadium is an open like dome too, to where like it might still be outside, or is it closed?
No,
I know they didn't want to do outside venues.
It's closed. I mean, when we went there for SummerSlam, it was closed, and it was hot as hell because it was summer. Yeah. I don't think that stadium opens. I don't watch it. I don't watch Raider games. I have to ask my father-in-law. I don't watch the Raiders.
No.
Shit. But yeah,
I know it's a revamped stadium. It's a brand new stadium.
Yes, it's a really nice stadium too.
It's about to be booming in that bitch, bro. There's gonna be so many people at that shit. It's about to be nuts. Because then, like, you got people flying in, you got people driving from LA, like from Phoenix. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a good night for Mania for sure.
Absolutely, good week, man. Yeah, some of those incels will finally be able to touch a woman, probably, since it's in Vegas. So that's what's up.
Don't. No.
But in seriousness, the stadium isn't
legally
that far.
They're paying for it, people. They're out there just touching people.
Well, of course, they gotta pay for it.
I'm just saying, nigga. God damn.
Yeah, of course they gotta pay for it. But no, in all seriousness, the stadium isn't that far from the Strip, so it's probably like a good 20-minute walk. Yes, and everything's right there. So if you've been to the Strip before, you know what time it is. Like, there's roller coasters, there's all sorts of stuff. And then since it's Mania weekend, we'll get we'll probably there'll be a GCW show somewhere. Maybe even AEW might pop out somewhere, or at least close by or something. Who knows? It'll be a good weekend. I think it'll be a good weekend.
It is.
It's going to be successful.
I mean, I would assume ROH is going to do their Supercard in Vegas too. Like,
I would hope so.
That probably would happen. Whew, that's going to be a great fucking time. Great fucking time.
Yeah. And if there's a UFC fight or boxing fight nearby too, then it's that city, it's going to be crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
quick news: Seth resigned. So we got Finn, Drew, and Seth. They all resigned recently.
Yep.
I think Becky is the only other big name that hasn't resigned yet.
And
But
she'll resign.
Yeah, she'll resign. I don't imagine her not resigning, especially now that she's still women's champion. I don't know how much truth there is to this one, but Matt Hardy says on his podcast that Jeff Hardy is cleared. So I guess we'll just keep our eyes out on that and see if we see Jeff Hardy soon. Matt is currently unsigned, but he says he's in talks with everybody. He's still talking with AEW. He's just trying to get a better position or whatever he's trying to do. But yeah, he says Jeff is going to be back.
That Jeff makes sense. I think with like a broken nose, it's probably like fucking 4 to like 12 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, and a concussion, and obviously he's old
like,
and injured
for sure.
A little bit.
I will agree that the Hardys definitely should be used more respectfully. I think whatever that looks like, we have to get them in a position to where they can succeed.
Yeah.
I don't know what Matt's looking for. I don't know if he wants to be like, tag team champions. I don't know if he wants to do what's the delete Matt Hardy? What's the
broken Matt Hardy? Yeah, that's what
broken Matt. I don't know if he wants to be broken. But you got to figure out a place for them. And currently, stories in AEW have been great, so I'm pretty sure we could figure out some way to get them involved in something.
Right.
But yeah, happy for Jeff to come back because Jeff is a fucking legend. They're both fucking legends. But just let's utilize them correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of AEW's roster, apparently, or according to sites, Ethan Page is no longer listed under AEW or the ROH roster. So it's seeming that he might not be working there anymore.
Ethan Page is a really dope fucking individual because I enjoy Ethan Page. First off, great fucking toy collection. Has an amazing toy vlog where he goes toy hunting and shit like that. I watch those videos all the time. But the dude is mad talented. He has great mic skills. He can work in the ring. He was doing what he could in ROH, and it kind of hurt a little bit to see that there wasn't no use for him. So hopefully, I would love to see Ethan Page go to the E. I think he has the mic skills to do that. He falls in that. He does. He has the whole I don't like the word package, but he has the ensemble of a WWE superstar. And they like those guys. They like the guys who can just talk. He's a talker. He can be a heel. He can be a baby face. He'll do really well in NXT for maybe a year and a half, and I could see him getting called up for sure. So, and that's if he wants to do that. If he wants to go to E, if he wants to go to TNA.
I don't know the facts on it, but I heard his TNA split was not on the best terms. But then again, they're under new management, so who knows? So yeah, I think TNA is still a possibility. Also, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just wherever he lands, he's gonna be great. I like Ethan Page a lot. That one was damn, because him and it was him and Scorpio Sky, which I love Scorpio Sky too. I think he's a great fucking wrestler too. I was wondering about how AEW got away from their day ones and how we kind of have to reestablish some of those superstars, the ones that help build up those first level or first couple of weeks and whatnot. And there is a couple of them that have had main event matches and are still in the match card and whatnot, but there's some of them that were really fucking dope. Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, Sonny Kiss, Joey Janela. These were people that I've never seen before, but I love their characters,
they were fucking big. They were some of the AEW originals,
right?
That didn't get their, some of their contracts expired and whatnot. But you just brought up a name that I have not heard in fucking forever. Where is Scorpio Sky? I feel like the last time I saw him, Cody was still in AEW, I think.
And Scorpio Sky is solid, bro. Great.
He had I remember him having the TNT championship, and he changed, it was purple and gold. It kind of reminded me of the Lakers or something. And
yeah, because he's an LA fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him getting injured, and I feel like I have not heard his name since 2021, but maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. I feel like he's been gone forever.
Yeah, I wish I knew. Hopefully we can do some research and figure out where the hell Scorpio Sky is at, because that dude is a fucking talent as well.
Yeah. And then that yeah, that's it for news. But speaking of,
Gulak.
oh yeah, Gulak. Yes.
This
So we
week
we briefly talked about it last week, I believe, right?
right.
It
Yep,
was
yep,
new.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
it was rumored that he was released, and like Meltzer reported it, and a couple other people reported it, and everyone believed it was due to Ronda Rousey's comments because ever since Ronda Rousey's comment, he wasn't on TV, and then he got written off of NXT, and he just hasn't been seen.
Mm-hmm.
Now Triple H is saying no, he wasn't released because he was asked in a backstage what do you call it, the scrums or whatever, pressers. Well, yeah, if he was released or not. Which Triple H said a comment that it sounded like it was taken as a jab to PW Insider and Fightful. It was later brought up that it was a little miscommunication. It was about the interviewee asking the question, assuming it was about Ronda. But Triple H says that no, he's not released. We're just not going to renew his contract. Now, there's some other news about why he is possibly not going to renew his contract.
Right. So from the report, it says that from Fightful, is posted by Wrestling Purists, several NXT talent made claims that Drew Gulak was a bully who would often target injuries during matches with the talent that were recovering from minor injuries at the time. One talent claimed that during a match with Gulak, he purposely redislocated a previously dislocated finger, while another talent claimed that Gulak would intimidate talent into not reporting the incidents. There was an incident during NXT taping last year where Gulak was verbally reprimanded by Shawn Michaels and NXT coaches for intentionally spiking an opponent during a match. One NXT talent who worked with Gulak noted that he was odd in the sense that he would often test talent to see if they would react to his bullying. This reminds me, I think who was running NXT at the time, was it Bill DeMott or some shit like that, where he was out there running fucking weird like what are hazing rituals and shit like that with NXT talent. And it's like that's that old school, we're wrestlers and you gotta be a man up and do this and do that. Like just we're gonna bully you just for the sake of fucking bullying. First off, this is some bitch ass shit, bro.
Ass shit.
Like let's keep it a buck. Like bullying people and like redislocating injuries is fucking crazy, bro. Like
no, that's fucked up.
And you lucky like you didn't like get handled. Like, you know, like you can't be purposely injuring people. Like that's fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, and you know, and knowing him, because I don't think he's that tall. I mean, he is jacked for what it is, but it's probably I doubt he's doing that to like a Obafemi, you know, or
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I'm sure I can't imagine he's bullying like some of the bigger talent or more intimidating talent. But also, I feel like now that this news came out with the bullying, it kind of makes those Ronda comments and his retort to Ronda's comment. Yeah, maybe he wasn't being a 69 freak god. Maybe he was literally just trying to bully Ronda and pull her fucking string on her shorts or some shit like that.
Which is also crazy.
Which is wild.
Because why would she will fuck you up?
She could beat up most human beings, like her or not. It's like whether you would try to be freaky or whether you try to be a bully, why would you do it to Ronda? But that's either here or there.
Which is also crazy because that means he's comfortable going up to women and randomly doing shit, bro. Like,
yeah,
that's fucking wild.
And then the thing that you read, it doesn't say. I mean, obviously he's wrestling men talent, so the injuries is to men talent. But yeah, none of it says like what he was doing to some of the female talent, which I'm sure is probably just as bad. I mean, right. I think it's safe to assume. We don't know, so it's speculation. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you treat other people like this. I'm assuming you're treating everyone else like that. You know?
Yeah. No place for it. Like that shit is fucking ass. And look, I don't keep him away from the promotions I like to watch, bro. Go do something. What was that? What was that shit? The EC3 and what's the face?
Control Your Narrative, I think it was called.
Yeah, go ahead. Go see Lyon. Get your ass over there, bro. Like, stay away from the TNAs, the AEWs, bro.
Yeah, man.
The ROHs. We don't want that.
Yeah. And he's a stupid person. And speaking of stupid people, how does Darby Allin get hit by a bus only in the face in New York City? Like, I talked to some people in NYC, and it might sound like it's easy to get hit by a bus in New York, but it's actually not. especially if it's like peak traffic, because they don't have the fucking velocity. They drive fast enough to hit a person with a bus. And you're walking with a broken foot. So did you not look both ways when you crossed the street? How did it only hit your face? What the hell is going on here? And you're walking with the friend. Loner, if you had a broken foot and I was walking, if I was walking with you across the street,
his friend. They say he's protecting his friend. That
so
was
he
what
jumped in front of a bus.
His friend was old. Friend was probably in some shit. And Darby said, that looks like a spot. Let me go and take that. I don't know, man. To be honest, I really don't know how the hell you got hit by a bus only in your face. He fucked this shit up too.
And still managed to make it to a Broadway show. What the? And then also, where's this bus? Who the fuck was driving? Was there a police report? Did anything happen? Like, are you just too cool to report that? Was this a hit and run? What the fuck happened? Like, what is going on? I just had to get that off my chest. We didn't write that in the news, but I hate that we share the same. I share the same birthday with this guy. That doesn't make any sense.
It's funny because he came out and said that like he's still gonna do Mount Everest too. Like, there's just things you gotta let this man go, bro. Let him do what he got to do.
Yeah, bro. Like I don't. Again, you know, you don't got to be religious to realize, yo, the universe is telling you something. Like, stop. Like, just chill. Fucking go home and play Tony Hawk, bro. Like, I don't. Just chill. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Before we get out of news, there was also a couple of NXT talents that I have never heard of before. I thought they were doing. Yeah. I think they said it was a show that NXT was doing. Like,
yeah. I don't know if you saw the commercials for it, but they had like it was like a mini fucking what do you call it? Reality TV show, sort of. It was for Roku. So if you had Roku TV or you had the app. Yeah, so essentially it was like a different version of Tough Enough almost. And yeah, pretty much everyone that got released was from there. So it's like they weren't on NXT TV. They were on TV, but not NXT TV. So yeah, none of the talent that we know unless you were watching the Roku thing.
The show.
Think. Yeah.
And lastly, Laurinaitis has filed to join Vince in his arbitration. So basically, Laurinaitis corroborates that Mr. McMahon is publicly declaring that Mrs. Grant allegations of sexual abuse and coercion were completely unfounded. So Laurinaitis is joining Vince on the train to continually bash Janelle Grant, which I need a button for bitch ass nigga. Let me just get a button I can press. Like, that's fucking crazy, bro. Like,
yeah, I need to work on the soundboard. Yeah, it's wild because at first he was not on Vince's side. He was like, "No, it was all him." And now they're joining forces. So it's something to keep an eye on, I guess. But fuck him. Like even Vince recently hired a PR team. He has the same. I want to say he had the same PR team as Harvey. If not someone else. So let's say this Grant case goes in Vince and Laurinaitis' favor. Still sold all the shares, not going back to WWE. You have a PR team, so the most the most craziest thing he could do is maybe start a new company. But if you do that, who's going to work? I mean, he'll have some people that will work for him, like a Brock or some people who are loyal to the soil. But who's going to want to work with you? Like, that's the reason why, not the sole reason, but one of the reasons why AEW exists is because people didn't want to work for you. They didn't want to work your style. Right. They didn't and you freaky ass nigga.
Freaky ass nigga, the
69 God. Man,
that's what we call him, bro.
Get that shit out of here, man. We don't. Yeah,
that's fucking wild.
Yeah. But you want to get into Raw?
Yeah, let's jump into Raw, man. Shit. Eric Rowan also signed. Eric Rowan also signed a new deal with WWE. So there's rumors of the Wyatt Six.
Which there's some names that were released. They were people aren't trying to spoil it. So like how you have porn on the timeline and they do the sensitive thing. You have to click for unsensitive or whatever. Motherfuckers was hiding, and it's like, come on, it's wrestling. Anyway, it continues. It was Bo Dallas, Eric Rowan.
Yeah, Bo Dallas, Eric Rowan.
Joe Gacy was listed.
Gacy, oh my God, Joe Gacy's fucking dope too.
Dexter Loomis was listed.
Loomis, Cross, and
Nikki
Bliss.
Cross. I didn't see Bliss's name, but that makes sense. I don't see why. Yeah, I don't see why not. And that's 6 people, right? So
yeah, like that. I need it, bro. Like that level of creativity, like that's what I strive for. I love seeing characters. I realize that's my thing. How you like storylines, I like characters. That's what draws me to the matches. That's what like gets me in, right? I was watching just Backlash and Smackdown yesterday, and I was like, oh shit, that's my allure. Is that I like seeing the Thunder Rosa with the face paints and the colors. I like seeing, you know, the Fiend with the mask and like the character he brings to that. Like that is my thing. That's what pulls me into wrestling is the fiction side of it. Like how you transform yourself.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, yeah, characters are a huge thing. When I tell people who are new to wrestling, like how do you get into it? One of the things I tell them is just like any other TV show for the most part. Find a character you like and just follow them. And that's what I did. Like when I saw Seth Rollins, like, oh, I like this guy's look, and I followed that whole story. And when I saw Dolph, I was like, I like this guy's look. New Day is like, they irritate me, but I like them.
They have great character.
Yeah, I wanted to see it play out. I was like, who are these churchy niggas talking about booty? Like, all right, let me get into it. Yeah, and then fast forward, I got a picture with them. You know, yeah. So you just gotta you find a character you like and you follow the story. Yeah, so I feel what you're saying. I smell what you're cooking.
All right, Raw. Let's talk about it. What you got?
Yeah. So the show starts off. Starts off in the parking lot. You see Logan Paul, I Show Speed, pretty much all of Judgment Day, and then Patrick Mahomes because they're in Kansas City. This is a hard episode of Raw to watch. I'm gonna try not to go on a tirade about Kansas City Chiefs and or Patrick Mahomes, but so you see them all walking, boo boo, tomato tomato. Then you cut to the show. Becky opens the show. Good promo. And she pretty much takes a jab. She's like, yeah, I guess the internet was wrong because ever since Mania, it was supposed to, the whole thing was, oh, she's going to be on break. She's going on vacation or whatever. She's like, yeah, well, I guess the internet was wrong. Then Liv interrupts her saying, hey, if you're looking for a number 1 contender, it's me. And they're having I don't know if they had a back and forth, but before Nia comes out, but then Nia comes out talking shit. She's like, I mean, I'm wearing blue if you can't tell, so I'm on SmackDown now, you dummies. But y'all can still get this fucking work. Essentially. Yeah. And her and Liv kicks her out of the ring or whatever, and it sets up for a match with them later that evening. And then after that is when we get the first round picks, which Stephanie McMahon came out to do it, which was we get another Stephanie appearing. Yeah, so it's like they slowly bringing her back out, not too much exposure. But it's good to see her back in the. I mean, even though she's not, I don't think she has a role in the company. It's good to see her back in the company.
Right.
And for the first round picks, I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't call Venti this week. I didn't know if Loner wanted him on the show or not, but maybe next time. So for the first round, Raw chooses Imperium or Gunther and Ludwig, but Imperium minus Giovanni.
Right.
SmackDown in the second pick, they choose Jade Cargill. Third pick, Raw chooses all of Damage Control. So that's one of the biggest probably changes through this entire draft because some people were low on the draft was kind of underwhelming this year, if not just whelming, not much change.
It was.
But Damage Control being like one of the Damage Control and LWO going to Raw, like in some of those other feuds that we've been seeing for fucking months. Like,
right.
I think tonight is the last time we see Legado and LWO interact, which is good. And,
we need that.
Yeah,
not on no hating shit, but like I want to see them in different stories.
Yeah, exactly. You can only have so many seasons of Mexican gang warfare. Like, I mean, what Sons of Anarchy? It went like 8 seasons. Yeah, and then as for the fourth pick of the draft, in the final pick of the first round, SmackDown selects Kevin Owens. And then after that is when we get our first match of the show.
Yeah. And this is one of two matches of the week for me. Gunther versus Xavier Woods was an absolute fucking banger to me. This was a good fucking match. This is the first time in my life that I've seen a black man's chest red. Do you understand how fucking crazy that is, bro? A black man, his chest was red from the amount of chops this man was taking. That shit was crazy to see.
Yeah, I wrote down chopping the fuck out of Xavier.
Yeah.
He's chopping the woods down. Ooh, yeah, there we go. There's a pun. There's a pun for you.
And it looks like during this match, there was also like there's some jawing between Kof and Gunther on the sidelines. And I'm like, I'll take a Kof little Gunther feud, which is probably I would say that they will line up at some point in the King of the Ring, which I'm here for. Like, I think my idea is that I would like to see Kof get back to a mid level, like a mid. Fuck that. I like to see Kofi get back to a mid-high tier level because he is a former WWE champion. Like, let's, utilize him as such. I think that based off of accolades, Kofi should be placed a little bit higher than Shinsuke to me. Just off of what he's accomplished in WWE. So I would like to see him hold some rank again. Not saying that he hasn't been on the show, because New Day has been on the show. But as far as like, a champion level like talent, I think Kofi should be used as such. Because he is one.
Yeah. And Kofi's great. They did announce the first few matches for King and Queen of the Ring. So yeah, Monday Raw show is gonna be here.
Lit.
It's gonna be lit,
bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, we got some leaders.
I didn't think I've seen. Actually, no. For the people, you want to go over the matches, that way they know, since we were already.
Yeah. If you can find them faster than I can.
Yeah. Let's see what we got right here, I believe.
Okay, I have a couple. So first round, we getting Gunther versus Sheamus. That's gonna be a banger. We get Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor. Banger. This one I'm super excited for, and then please give them at least 15 minutes. Ricochet versus Ilja Dragunov. Is going to be so fire. And
Smoker.
Then, okay, then it went into a woman. Is that all the men's for the first show? That was just a graphic. I need like all the list.
Was Kofi
Kingston too? Yeah, Kofi Kingston versus Rey Mysterio.
Versus Rey, which is also a smoker. On the women's side, we have Io versus Nat.
That's gonna be nice.
We have Lyra versus Asuka, which is gonna be a smoker.
That's gonna be nice as hell, baby.
Shayna versus Zelina, and then Zoe Stark versus Ivy. Now, these last two, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about Shayna versus Zelina and Zoe Stark versus Ivy. Honestly, I probably would have swapped it to where I would have had Shayna versus Ivy, and then Zelina versus Zoe kind of thing. That's just me personally, and I was a little lackluster in like the women's division. The first two, I'm very interested in seeing what the fuck they do. Like Io and Nat is going to be a good match because they're going to work the hell at each other, and then Lyra versus Asuka is going to be fucking good too.
Yeah, I think Shayna and Zelina will be good. I'll be surprised. My eye is on that one just because I wonder how they're gonna book that one. Like, is Shayna gonna beat the hell out of Zelina and like do the whole thing where she like looks like it breaks your arm or whatever, or do you have Zelina go up, win a couple matches since she is the last Queen of the Ring since the reigning defending Queen of the Ring, if you want to go that route. So my eyes are on that just to see like, I wonder which way they're gonna go. Are you gonna knock out the former Queen of the Ring instantly, or is she gonna go up a little, win a round or two?
I think we're leading towards Nat versus Shayna. Because, funny enough, I was watching NXT, NXT Underground or NXT Spring Breaking, and there was an underground match between Nat and Lola Vice, and inside Lola Vice's corner was Shayna. Lola Vice ends up winning that match due to interference from Shayna, which, I think Nat and Shayna, they're building up the story that's on different shows, which is also shout out to them.
Continuity.
But yeah, the continuity is great, but I think that's what they're leading towards. Also about that matches, look, I hate Underground. I cannot stand it. I think the concept is fucking dumb. However, that was a good ass fucking match. I enjoyed that match a lot. That was I was very, very impressed because at first I went in. The first thing I said, I was like, I can't stand this dumbass shit. And I actually, as I'm watching, bro, I'm like, ooh, okay, all right, let's get active then. Like it was a good fucking match. So shout out to Lola and Nat for putting on a fucking smoker. Nice. They fucking did their thing with that.
Yeah, Lola, man. It's easy to make fun of Natalya sometimes because she can come off stale or boring or just not as interesting when it comes to like character, but her jersey needs to be hung in the rafters. She is such a she's damn, like, she's pretty much the backbone of this women's division, and not even just the women, because she also helps train men in the dungeon. Like without Natty, some of our current favorites would be lost in the wind without training with her. Like she and TJ, like they help crop a lot of these people that we like, and like help develop a lot of these people that we like, and she needs that respect.
I know we hate saying it because it's tied to somebody, but literally a learning tree. Like everybody who pairs up with Nat, like they get better. She helps them. She works them out. She's a very good fucking like talent to have. I just want her to get the respect that she deserves, and maybe she's getting it internally. I just think it needs to be shown through, like, so the fans can give her appreciation.
It needs, because I don't want it to be a moment where it's like, she finally gets her flowers after she retires, and then she becomes a producer or whatever. Like, no, we need to give Natalie her flowers now, and don't arrest me, but maybe a Nata tree, the Nata tree of learning.
Nata tree, Nata's tree of learning. That's fucking hilarious.
All right, man. So we're still in this Gunther Xavier match. Actually, the selling, he was really selling the knee, which was good. Gunther was working on Xavier Woods' knee, put him in a half crab. That was fucking crazy. Oof. Kofi almost throws in the towel to like save Xavier, but Xavier's like, no, I got this. I could do this. And then Gunther changes the crab into like alternate STF, which was wild. Like, damn, I didn't even know Gunther was that flexible. Pause, but and then he gets the win. Xavier taps out. And then Gunther wins, of course, and
like they're probably gonna lead. I would assume that they're going Kofi versus Gunther. Man, it was just a good wrestling match. This was like, you can tell Xavier also enjoyed doing this kind of match because it fits up his wrestling like background alley. Like it was just a great fucking exhibition of two great superstars. And
he got to showcase again why he is really, really fucking good in this ring.
Like, he's good, man.
He's really good. After that, Jay talks to Kathy in the back. And while he's talking to Kathy, and essentially he's just talking about how, he's going to, he's the number one contender and all this other stuff, and what's going on Smackdown, the other show, you see in the like far background, you see Liv leave a room, and then like 40 seconds after Liv left that room, Dom leaves that room too.
Dom leaves the room.
Oof. So we're going to see what that's about, but let's not act, we all know what that is. Everyone's had to leave the room and then wait till you leave the room too. We all had that. It's like, all right, you leave first. I'll wait. I'll wait a minute and then I'll leave. So that doesn't look suspicious. No, we all been in that. They cooking something.
Yeah, that storyline is going to be so great, especially if it's executed like properly. This is going to be a fucking heater. 'Cause I'm assuming we don't have a timetable on Rhea's return. They haven't put nothing like that out, have they?
No. If I feel like they did the very first week, and they might have backtracked, but I want my mind is telling me 4 months, but I do not know. I feel like I remember seeing something that said 4 months, but I don't know. But
says she'll get mobility back. They said within like 4 to like 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
But like that doesn't include like rehab and stuff like that. So
yeah, and mobility doesn't mean you can lift a human body, because she still has to be able to riptide people. So
3 months before she's cleared to perform. Okay. So we're looking at 4 months of like no Rhea on TV. Yeah. Okay. Well, then
that puts her
SummerSlam in August.
Yeah, that puts her around SummerSlam in August, assuming everything all rehab goes okay, if not even further speedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after that, fuck the Chiefs, fuck the Kansas City Chiefs, fuck all their fans. They bring up. Oh, okay, I know why I said that. All right, I don't retract my statement, but during my fuck the Chiefs segment, they did bring up the shooting that happened in the Super Bowl parade, and they had the kid Joey come out, which was cool. So shout out to them for that. That was a cool thing.
Yeah, that was a very dope moment.
Yeah, and shout out to Joey. And let's get some stronger gun laws, you guys. Anyway,
big facts.
Yeah, Logan and ISO Speed, they do the next round of picks, but Logan asked. But before that, Logan asked Samantha to announce Patrick Mahomes. And she kills it. I mean, it's Samantha. And yeah, she says, "Oh, Patrick's here, Patrick's there, whatever." And then we get the round 2 picks. You want to go through them?
Yeah. So second round picks, I understood him. First round was our first pick for Raw was CM Punk. Punk's not going nowhere.
Yeah, you want him on the Netflix show, definitely.
Yeah. You need him to carry that in. We got the Pride on SmackDown, so B-Fab, Bobby, Profits. We get a surprise pick that there was rumors earlier, but Braun is back. Braun Strowman is here on Raw. And like, how do you feel about Braun? What do you think that where do you place Braun? What do you do with Braun? Like, if you could book him in some kind of angle, what is it?
I'd put him in a tag. I'd put him in a tag team. I was fully enjoying him and Ricochet before he left, before he got injured. I was fully enjoying that tag team. But I mean, I guess before you do that, well, I don't know, because it seems like he's going to be a face, which is good, because honestly, he's even though he was great when he was a heel at first, I personally enjoy him more as a face. But yeah, we can see him versus Damian real quick for like a one-off feud. That would be good for Damian to beat someone big like a Braun Strowman. That would be a good accolade or a notch on the belt. But yeah, I don't know. I put him in a tag.
Do we do Braun versus Sammy?
You could do that too. But I mean that's if you. Yeah, we could do that too. I feel like that'd be a quick one-off. Just as like two faces fighting each other, and because I don't think I have to do my homework, but I don't think Sammy ever beats Braun 1v1.
I think that'd be a good look for Sammy to get like a solid win over like Braun Strowman. I think that would be fucking dope.
But Sammy's kind of tangled right now. He has Gable and Bronson Reed, so he already has a Braun that he's focusing on. So I don't know.
They about to fuck him up, bro. Like Sammy is getting a lot of attention on that IC belt, which I like. I enjoy that. Like,
yeah, it makes
it makes it feel like, okay, everybody wants this title. I gotta, be on my shit.
It's still a highly claimed title. Like, yeah, so it's not like they didn't waste Gunther's legacy. Like, no, this is still a top tier mid card belt. Everyone wants this shit. Everyone should want this shit. This is that's why Sammy, if not Jay, that's why Sammy was one of the better people to dethrone Gunther. Just to carry this shit on. It's dope as shit. I'm here for it.
Next pick was Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown. Now, Tiffy Tom is out of here. She's already on her way to becoming a fucking superstar. You have the mic skills, you got the looks, you got the moveset, like the charisma, like she's gone. I remember earlier we had talked about like, oh man, like Tiffy as like Money in the Bank winner would be fucking amazing. She no longer needs that, in my opinion.
No.
I think she's already like, you're out of here. We don't need to give you the briefcase. Like at some point in time, you will be women's champion, and you already have the star level.
Yeah,
or star build.
She would still be. We would just fantasy booking. I guess she would still be my second choice because I feel like a pink briefcase would sell money. Especially I feel like a pink briefcase would sell money. I still would give it to Chelsea Green if I had to choose, but I think I wouldn't mind. I think Tiff, even though I do agree, she doesn't need it. She's a fucking star. All that. Oh, she didn't have a Mania match. Like you guys can shut up. Like she's on TV weekly. She fucking moonsaulted Naomi and Bayley 2 weeks in a row, and was in a triple threat match in one of the biggest grossing pay-per-views ever in WWE history. Like, she is in a good spot. Her she's only like fucking 23, 25 or some shit. And she's only like 3 years into this game. She is not.
That's what I'm saying.
Nowhere close to a peak.
She was one of the NIL pickups, right? Like she was like an athlete before she was a wrestler. And I remember like at the time, the discourse was, oh, these NILs not going to understand how wrestling works. And I'm looking at Tiff like, I don't know about that. Like y'all got to be careful.
Yeah, the internet, and Britt Baker was one of them, who's like, you can't.
And I understood. I understood at the same time, like where they were coming from, because there are two different fields. Like you can't just be like, oh, I'm a professional like basketball player, and I'm a wrestler. It is a lot of hard work to fit in that lane.
Right.
But it's just one thing that we've seen. It's working.
Yeah, it's working. But and the thing is, it's worked before though. That's why I feel like the internet and those kind of comments were just ways to just take jabs, because I feel like there's been plenty of wrestlers like Roman Reigns, Goldberg, The Rock. There's other wrestlers who did sports who became really fucking good wrestlers, and who they were doing sports before they became wrestlers. So it's like, if they're taught well, it's going to work out. History already proved that.
Is that if you're taught well, it will work out. And I think that like they are getting the training that they need. They're getting like, if they pay attention, if they want it, the sky's the fucking limit. I think we're seeing it with
Braun Breaker,
Oba Femi, like
Trick Williams. Like, he was a basketball player, I think, or he did something like fucking Montez he was just an army dude. Like
it's working.
Yeah, you don't have to grow up a wrestling fan and be working in the indies to be a successful wrestler if you are taught well and you engage with your fans and all the things that make you a successful wrestler.
And it works even better because like you're getting somebody with no knowledge of anything, so you're able to teach them without having any kind of like give back or pushback, because they don't know anything. They're like, okay, if this is how you take a bump, I'm going to take a bump like this. Boom, boom, boom.
And when they started doing the piggyback off that, when they announced that they were going to do the NILs, that was one of the things. It was either Triple H or Shawn Michaels. That was one of the things that they were saying was like, we want to get people who don't have like they don't have the bad habits of the stuff that they've been doing in the indies. So it's like it's easier to mold them so that they won't have that pushback for having bad habits. It's like and just shit like that. And people took that as a jab or an offense, and it's like it's not an offense. It's just like, you know, sometimes it's easier to mold new clay than it is to mold clay that's already been, you know, fucking molded and shit.
And I think I think the way they said it was also misconstrued as well, at least from my opinion, is that like, yes, we want new talent. Yes, we still love the indies. We're not saying the indies are bad and what you're learning is bad. It's just more so we want to get, you know, mixed blood in here. People who haven't done it, so that way we can teach them the way that we want to teach them. Like when you come in and try to do your double neck breaker moonsault off the rope, and we got to be like, nah, bro, we really can't do that here. You're not met with any kind of resistance to where if you're like, oh, okay, Tiff was a former gymnast. She knows how to flip off of the turnbuckle. Okay, prettiest moonsault. It lines right up, you know?
Mm-hmm. Which she said that was a shout out to Christopher Daniels in an interview this week.
And that's crazy too, because that means like you're paying attention. You're watching old stuff. You're watching game tape of, you know, superstars before you and just pulling from them. Like as long as you respect the game, that's great, bro.
Yeah, like, and you can tell some of the NXT people are doing that, like Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan. Like
Sol is fucking amazing. Like she has the best finisher I've seen right now in wrestling.
Oh yeah, the Soul Satcher is fucking amazing. It's a fucking amazing. But yeah, Kalani Jordan, like she's copying some of RVD's moves, and RVD's moves are very hard to fucking copy, which is why we don't see them that often ever. And Kalani Jordan's doing it, so it is cool. Like, even if they didn't grow up watching wrestling, it's cool to know, like, yeah, they're in they study and take, you know, they watch, like, oh man, maybe I could do that, you know, and the best moonsault ever to the prettiest moonsault, like that's in the way that they're doing it. It's also paying homage. It's not like, oh, let me just rip this off this guy, let me just bite off this. And it's like, no, they're doing it in a respectful way, and they're paying homage and all this other cool shit. So yeah, it's cool shit.
That's it. From there, it looks like we got the Logan.
He cuts a promo.
Yeah, Logan cuts a promo with Jay.
It's a good one. Yeah, Jay comes out. They have a back and forth. Logan sets Jay up essentially because Finn and JD come out and they start jumping Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Logan goes
for Priest to kind of get him weakened for Priest.
Yeah, exactly. Which Priest does not want, but we'll go into that later. Logan, as they're jumping Jay, Logan Paul walks up the ring. He goes to Patrick Mahomes and borrows his 3 Super Bowl rings to use as the brass knucks. Which, you know, that's fucking wild. And I saw a complaint. I mean, I had this complaint myself actually for a little bit, but that was just because I was in the heat of the moment. But it's like, why are you guys making Patrick the heel in the quote unquote hometown? But then again, who gives a shit? I don't know. It's wrestling. It's fun. I would have did the same.
They just want to see him involved.
Yeah, I would have did the same thing. And hitting somebody with Super Bowl rings is fucking. That's a dope spot,
bro. What?
It's a dope spot.
3 of them things. It wasn't like one. It's like no, the whole hand is lined up with rings.
Yeah. They should borrow Tom Brady's because he got 7 of them.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so
he had to get it in. I let him get it in, bro. Like, he had to.
Cannot stand the Chiefs. Yeah, so he borrows the rings. They're Finn and JD are holding Finn or holding Jay so that he can take the punch. But then Jay ducks and he fucking he hits the shit out of JD, which it's not a hard target to miss. He has a very large head.
That's Cole's head. That Cleon-like head.
Yeah. And he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, if you guys ever watch Star Trek, like, look at Worf. You'll see.
Man.
Yeah. And then that's when Backup comes out, and that's when the Raw's 3rd round pick comes back after being gone for like a year and a half, I think, or shit. No, at least a year, because I want to say the last time we saw him was last Mania during the tag team. What the fuck you call that? The tag team turmoil thing that they had. At Mania in Los Angeles. So yeah, we haven't seen him in about a year.
It has been a while.
His haircut was atrocious, though. I wouldn't say it to his face, but
it looks like January 2023 is Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Alpha Academy. That was the last time we had seen him.
Damn,
that's a long time ago. God damn. Yeah, so a year and some change that we seen Braun. Glad to see he's back.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good to see he's back. And which I wonder if that's going to play into tomorrow. Yeah, honestly, I'd put Braun against Priest. Just real quick, just a one and done feud. Doesn't have to be long, and then I'd stick him in a tag team because you can only keep him out of. You don't. I don't think you want Braun in the title picture too soon.
It's always interesting where they place Braun because Braun is like he's the big guy. He's always in good feuds with like either like heels that think they can knock out the big dude. So he's a great fucking babyface. It's just championship charisma isn't that strong though. It's like when Braun was WWE champion. I believe he was WWE champion.
Yeah, it was not
Universal. Good. He doesn't have or at that moment didn't have the charisma that you would need of said champion.
Yeah.
So it's just a very interesting spot of what you do with Braun because you got to keep him relevant, but also not, too relevant.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I don't know. I put him in a tag match, and wait. Anyway, so then we get to the next segment where we have Truth and Chad Gable talking, which sets up a tag team title match later in the show with Otis and Tozawa versus the Awesome Truth. And essentially Gable like tricks Truth. And he's like, and Miz is like, what the hell is going on? He's like, he's gonna give us a 2-for-1. We give him a title match and they'll give us 2 if they win or something like that. And essentially scams him.
Yeah,
hits him with
the 2-for-1 was a good spot. That was funny.
Yeah, that sets up my match for later. And yes, Miz was like, seriously, Gable, really, you're going to take advantage of Truth, who is everywhere in the world in his mind. He's aloof all the time. Real classy. And Gable's just laughing, and as he turns around, you just see a random ass boot to the face. Good ass camera shot, so it was super good. And then
it was good.
The way it pans, the way like the camera pans up, and you see the boot, and then it says like Sammy, and you just see Sammy, and it reminded me of like some superhero shit, like some Batman shit or something. Like the way they just panned it up, it's like, I'm the one that fucking kicked you in the face.
Yeah,
good shit.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully so too.
Booker and Drew has a promo.
Yes. Yeah, he's talking to Kathy. Drew interrupts and hit him with the
tells Booker to not be like them.
Yeah.
Don't be like the people out there making fun of it. You're better than them.
Yeah, and he hits him he hits Booker with his own catchphrase. Tell me you did not just say that.
Tell me you didn't say that. Mind Game Drew is going to be a great angle because right now mentally Drew is just he's fucked. Like he's scrambling, and rightfully so. This is going to be a great angle to see how they, connect this and Punk.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, no, man. This is my favorite feud, and they haven't even fought yet. Really, like this feud is great.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know if I would want Drew to lose in that feud.
I feel like it's one of those feuds where, they might have 4 matches or 3 matches. You have they both go 1v1, and then you have the rubber match. I don't know. It depends on if there's a title involved. I don't know.
Would you do Drew Punk Mania in Vegas? Like, would that be a draw to you, or do you think Punk has to be in the title picture next year?
That's really. I honestly have no idea. I feel like you want Punk in the title picture, but no, this feud is so good. I mean, if Drew has the title by then you have it right there. But I mean, as long as no one gets injured, everyone just signed, right? So we have because we still have to have Seth and Punk at some point. We still have to have Punk and Roman if Roman ever wants to make that money. Okay. Like there's so much shit that like Punk there's so many feuds that Punk has, and then those are just the top 3 that he's like talking about on the mic. Like fucking. I mean, the sky's the limit is my point. But as far as Mania goes, as long as Punk is there, I don't think it matters. But I can see him in the title picture.
Oh, I'm bugging over here because I'm thinking like I don't know if Priest holds it for a year. I don't think Priest holds it from Mania to Mania.
No.
So with that title in particular, I have no idea where that's going to go. As far as Cody aspect, what if I'm thinking about the Mania matches possibly, where if Punk is in the main title picture for the world title, great. Then who the hell is going to be in the title picture for Cody's title? And I'm like, Seth? Does Seth win Rumble next year and you get Seth versus Cody at Mania?
I would love
on some like
for Seth to win
on some not on no heel shit, but on some like, we gotta finish this. There's a story still there with Cody.
I was just Shield. I deserve a title match. But I mean, honestly, I think we're getting Cody and Rock. I think that's the.
You think so?
I think
I thought well, for me, I didn't say Rock because I'm thinking like Roman Rock. I think Bloodline happening in Vegas is a sure thing.
That would be dope too. I mean, and shit, I want Bloodline in War Games, bro. Let me get Bloodline. So
I think we'll get that for sure. If how I see it is that you'll get a little spoiler here, but you'll get Bloodline with the Tama brothers and Solo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you get Usos Roman and +1. Because Jacob's still out there too.
Yeah,
so I'm like, you're gonna get that at War Games. I don't think they'll miss that. Like, there's no way you fuck that up.
I would hope not, unless there's a better story. Like, I'm open to better stories, But yeah, I put all them Samoan motherfuckers in that cage, bro. I want to see them scrap,
Yeah, for sure.
Drew comes out. He starts talking shit. Says CM Punk injured him. Because, it comes out that Drew has a hyperextended elbow that happened during Mania.
Right.
Which he was still working. Like, he still was working when they went and tour in Europe. All this other shit. But now it looks like he's going to... Well, no, because he goes back to work tomorrow. So, yeah, it looks like they just took him... gave him a couple match break. A couple matches break. But, yeah, he's like, Punk injured me. And then the camera pans out, and CM Punk is like, or no, does his music start? Either way, CM Punk is like, I'm here, I'm up here, you little bitch. And
I'm not sitting at home. I'm right here.
And Drew goes on a search mission after that.
Yeah, he's like, fuck that, I gotta go get this dude. Prior to that, though, we did get the Reed versus Sammy match that happened.
Oh shit! I've completely skipped over it.
And then we get round 3. Just quickly, get my thoughts on the Reed Sammy match. There's a crazy fucking buckle bomb into a spinning sit down power bomb from fucking Bronson Reed. That man is fucking legit. That shit was tight.
That shit was fire. Sammy does
a cool
he does this cool springboard move in this match again. We got a kick out of nowhere, which was dope.
Yep.
But the match ends in a DQ because Chad Gable comes out of nowhere. I mean,
Germans.
Germans him very just like what he did to Sammy when he was hugging his wife. Essentially, he Germans him the same way, puts him in a long ass ankle lock, and then Bronson's just in the corner like, what the fuck? And then Gable picks up the title and he starts berating Sammy, and then Bronson's like, nah.
And hell no, like we ain't doing that.
Yeah, and then he attacks Gable. So yeah, we're gonna get a triple threat more than likely. Soon.
Absolutely. This reminds me of like just two dudes who just don't like each other to where you might underestimate Bronson Reed. He might walk out with that bitch. We then have round 3, and we get the APA. And I'm not gonna lie to you, seeing Ron Simmons made me pop. Like Ron Simmons was like, because he's one of the first black wrestlers that I've seen. from like Nation to the APA, like the whole damn movement. Like
Yeah.
Ron Simmons is a fucking like icon to me.
I love the APA so much.
Man, APA was the door frame just in the middle of the hallway, not connected to no wall, and like you got to knock on the door to come in. Like, don't walk around the door, knock on this door. That's not connected to nothing. Love it, bro. The card games in the back. Man, the fact that they were a protection agency, you got to pay them to do matches and shit. Like
that was such a good. Oh, that was so good. That's what I was like super locked in as a kid. And that, I love the APA and their music is fire. Yeah, music is fire. That guitar is so sick.
They announced the next couple picks. We get LWO going to Raw. We talked about that earlier. We get Legado then going to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Drew
stays on Raw. And then Shinsuke goes to SmackDown.
Yeah, which is another nice shakeup. And then I must have missed. I don't know if you said it or not, but with the LWO, Carlito's a part of it, even though even though last week.
This is what tripped me out about the draft, and I have it at the end. I have a little spot about this at the end of we talk about Raw, but it's like certain groups were getting drafted together, and certain groups were getting split up, which made no fucking sense to me. It's like, okay, we draft Imperium without Vinci. And granted, we know he wasn't going to fucking be a part of Imperium, but Carlito then gets drafted by LWO, which is like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, right. Shayna gets split up from Zoe. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
wait, they're on different shows?
Well, like, they didn't draft them together, meaning like they are a team.
I don't know if they're official. I don't know if they're. I mean, I'm doing quotes here since it's an auto medium. I don't know if they're an official tag team, but yeah, they have been obviously a tag team for a couple months. Yeah,
for a while, yeah. So I didn't know what's the play here.
Yeah, I don't know, and they do try to talk about it because there is a interview where I think it's Kathy. It's either Kathy or Jackie. They talk to Ray about like they try to explain that. They do try to explain it. So I give them credit for it, even though the excuse isn't that great. The explanation isn't that great, but they do try to explain it later in the show. Which I think I wrote that down when we get to it. But yeah. It's later. So yeah, after that we get we go back to Drew. Wait a minute. No.
Yeah, after the third round, you do the Drew promo with Punk, and then we get an Alpha Academy promo.
Yeah, I see that earlier on accent.
Yeah, and then we get the Braun Breaker.
Yeah, so yeah. What the fuck? Am I tripping? Yeah, okay. We do because Gable roasts the team again, and
yep.
Yeah,
we're not celebrating mediocrity.
Yeah, because she was excited. Because what's her name, Maxine, was excited about getting the two eliminations. She's like, "You're not celebrating mediocrity around here."
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't see no title on you." And then he tells Otis and Tozawa to get their shit together, win these belts. Then Then we get a Braun Breaker segment where he gets interrupted by Sheamus. There's not much to that. Then that's when we get Candice versus Maxine, which was a quick match.
Yeah, quick match, but the growth from Maxine is pretty solid. I like the story with, prior to them being separated, I did like where the story was going. I could see, like, Maxine was ready to, like, start popping off. It's just interesting now that without Candice and Indy on Raw, like, what do we do with Maxine now? Because you had her in a feud.
Yeah, I mean, she's still there's still plenty of women on the roster to work with. They can pivot to like Zoe or Shayna being Maxine's bully now or something. There's ways to pivot after that.
It was just like we never got the completion of that story. That's where my irritation is. It's just a little bit is that finish the story.
Yeah, there's no closure to it.
Yeah,
but I feel like we're not gonna get the closure until like maybe Rumble or something.
Exactly.
Or Money in the Bank. There'll be a moment where Maxine finally gets her come up on Candice, and then we'll be like, "Oh, finally, it happened!" Yeah, yeah. We'll see. I feel like they're putting it on the back burner now, But yeah, you're right. There is no closure. But at the same time, we've also been seeing them fight for like 2-3 months now. It feels like.
Well, yeah, and that's my point. Is that like typically we watching them fight for these last couple weeks. Like we're invested now. You now made me watch her be cussed out or not cussed out, but bullied in the corner. You now made me watch Indy kind of be hesitant on being a heel, and now Indy's a heel, or at least looking heelish. You invested me in Candice, and Candice being a heel. It's like now it's like, yo, like just finish it out now. Like we've been running this program for 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yeah. After that, Indy helps Candice win with some heel stuff. I think she attacks like Ivy or something. She does something. But then after that, that's when we get the backstage segment where they're trying to explain someone's interviewing Ray. Yeah, they're trying to explain the whole Carlito situation. Then Dom shows up, and then Ray just proves again how he's a deadbeat by making fun of your son, saying that you have a dirty Sanchez on your face. Like, man,
the dirty Sanchez. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, bro.
And nothing's more heelish than getting a nasty ass mustache too. So shout out to Dom too for like knowing what to do with his character.
Yeah, mustache and a mullet. Yeah, we getting there.
That's nasty, bro. That's nasty work, man.
So Drew's still searching for Punk. He finally gets to the room where Punk was at, only to find just an autographed picture of Punk on the thing. And then that's when Punk's music starts, and then Punk walks out to the ring. And Drew's just watching from the skybox, maniacally, almost like another Batman reference, I guess, but almost like, just a superhero perched on top, just watching, just pissed.
Right. Steaming, bro.
Just steaming. And Punk says, man, you're like an ex I can't get rid of. That was one of the main bars, but he also sat down. He's like, I want you to time me because I don't want to go over time. I'm not trying to have another pipe bomb moment, essentially. Yeah, so he sits down, crisscross applesauce, talks some shit. Just a great feud. I didn't write anything else down about the feud.
Nah.
But yeah, just a great feud.
I got the losers hope things happens, winners make it happen. When I'm 100%, I'm going to make your life a living hell. So
yeah.
If there's anybody who can't do it, it will be Punk.
Yeah.
And we then get round 4.
Yeah, I'm getting my phone's vibrate. I don't know. Hey, Venti's here. Holy shit!
Oh, God damn it!
Hello? Yeah, man. Let me do these picks for you, bro. I'm back, man. Venti money roll. Yeah, you know what it's up, man. Dude, oh my God, I didn't think you were. Thank you for doing. I'm sorry, this is unprecedented. We don't usually have this happen on the show, you guys. Okay,
look, let him on the show.
Gave him the
code.
Loner
this is a private invite.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Loner, you know how Jamaicans are, man. You know they be scamming. What you say, bro? I'm just joking, dude. All right, just read the picks because Teddy Long and Alondra Blaze come out. Loner is about to read the picks. Just hurry up so we can go on with the show. The show's already long. All right, man. For the first pick of the Raw, yeah, we're talking about the Judgment Day. You better rise for it, brother. You better rise, yeah. Venti money. We get Judgment Day for the first pick of the draft, man, in the 4th round, yeah. And then for the 2nd round, we get another Black Queen. We fleecing them. We get Naomi. I love the grow. You love the grow, yeah, man. Love the grow. And then 3rd pick, we get Ilja. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to pronounce, man. Dragunov. Yeah. Big money. Red Dragon, yeah. And then for the 4th round, we get Chelsea Green and Piper Niva. Yeah, Venti money, man. Just call me back anytime, man. Call me now.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, you can't do Miss Cleo. That's good.
Get him.
Oh man,
get him out of
here. All right.
Somebody lock those doors and get him out of here. Okay.
Please, man. Last thing we need is
last time my show gets hijacked by Venti the Jamaican.
Jeez. Oh man, thank you though, man. After that, we get the Liv and Nia match, and Tiffy Time is in the audience, which. To blur the lines a little bit, Tiffy and Nia Jax are huge friends behind the scenes. I mean, all the women are huge friends behind the scenes. They all be doing TikToks and shit together. So fuck the kayfabe just a little bit. But Yeah, so yeah, Tiffy shows up. She's sitting in the stands. I'm assuming she bought a ticket or something. But yeah, Nia is. There was a part where Nia was beating the shit out of Liv's head in the post, which was fucking hilarious. There was a dope powerbomb spot also.
Yeah, Liv powerbombs Nia, which is fucking dope. I think that's a good way to like. This is like I'm leaving the show, so I'm gonna give you a big moment.
Yeah,
Like nobody powerbombs Nia. Like,
no,
and we definitely expect Liv to be the one to do it. So that was a really dope send off, like helping your friend out, like get a good moment.
yeah, and then as that's happening, as the match is happening, Naomi comes out of nowhere during the crowd and attacks Tiffy, which also kind of distracts Nia Jax, which sets up Liv to get the win with an Oblivion almost out of nowhere, and then yeah, Liv gets the win. She gets her comeuppance, and now that feud or mini feud is finished. Because yeah, they were beefing ever since they both returned, and then yeah, and then we get the 5th round, which is the Dudley Boys show up, which is dope. You get both Devon and Bubba. They have the glasses on. Another fire song. For the 5th round, Raw selects New Day, which is just Xavier and Kofi. Second round, we get Yes Boy, Pretty Deadly.
Yes, boys.
Yes, boy. So another team. Like, honestly, I wish they were on Raw so they can get more time, but hopefully they get the much needed. Because Pretty Deadly is extremely really good, and they have not
Very talented.
They have not shown us their. As far as since they've been on the main roster, we have yet to see their full potential. So you guys just wait. Because I'm telling you, Pretty Deadly's they're dope. After that, we get the third round. The third pick, which is Lyra Valkyria. It's the NXT call up, which was nice.
Yep.
And then for the 4th pick, we get Candice and Indy on SmackDown.
Yep. About these ones pretty standard. I think the big pop was Lyra coming over. I think my take on like the WWE draft is that I would rather have it be more in this form of maybe 15 to 16 superstars on like a draft board from NXT coming up. Yeah. Because other than that, we have just everything else just a shakeup, right? It's just putting little pieces here and there. Like nobody really got drafted major from a show to show. I think Shinsuke, Nia, DIY, Candice LeRae, were like the big like names coming over. To where like if we're doing the draft, I would rather it just be draft NXT talent, and then we'll just do little trades here and there for like talent. Because otherwise we're keeping people in the same spots. And to be honest, we should have seen that coming because like there's storylines already built for Backlash. We can't draft AJ to Raw. He's fighting Cody, Right. Like there's story implications that prevent people from going over. So I would definitely rather see more NXT talent come up because this was fucking dope to see.
Yeah, we got one more round, but you're right. I do because I did want to talk about it for a hot second. Yeah, I think the draft should be just for NXT, and then maybe like copy college and do like a trading pool or something.
Right.
Yeah, and then make the shit about storylines. Like you can have a winner, loser goes to Raw, in a SmackDown feud or something like that. Or
right.
Yeah, just like because this format, even though it's very sports heavy, and I do like how they're trying to do that, it's not hitting, especially just based on it's just underwhelming. And if most of your talent isn't leaving or switching brands for whatever said reasons, then it's like what are we doing here then? Like what is all this for? Instead of this shit, we could have you take out each round of this, and that could have been 2 or 3 matches that we could have got of someone
exactly.
So yeah, I think the draft should be just for NXT.
It felt a little like optimizing for they're definitely optimizing the NFL draft and the WWE draft at the same time. You're using that search engine to get those views and clicks up because it's relevant right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just felt used in that sense because nothing really happened. I think we had 9 people on this episode. Let me see, 9. Yeah. So there's 11 total, 21 total people getting drafted. 11 changes, including the NXT. and I think like the draft should just be more focused on like NXT talent. And the thing is, like, how do you create like the requirements for somebody being drafted in NXT? Is it like, oh, they have to be there a year, they got to run a championship? Like, what's the qualifications for somebody to get drafted out of like NXT?
I would make it to where, because the draft is like every 2 years or whatever, or every other year. I would make the draft if we're just doing NXT. I would make the draft, yeah, like a thing that happens between Mania and SummerSlam. The requirements, I mean, I don't think they need a list of requirements per se, but
Right.
Just like every May we have the NXT draft. We draft 6 superstars or whatever to go to respective Raw or SmackDown brands, and then you can do storylines to where, let's say Carmelo, like, he shows up on SmackDown and he's like, "Yo, Montez, the draft is coming up. I need to present myself and look good. Why don't you have a match with me? Let's have a banger real quick," or something like you can implement storylines which will make it even more interesting. And I think that's the thing that they need to add to the draft to like make it also storyline heavy, because like one of the very first draft, like when Undertaker went to the other show, he was pissed, and I was that played into a story, and like the beef between Eric Bischoff and Stephanie McMahon, like that played into a story to like why they're drafting certain people and all this other shit. But yeah,
I think something else that'd be kind of dope is those tournaments that we have in NXT. Like you have like the Dusty, you have like I think there was like the cup that Nam Dar had too. I don't know what it's called.
That's damn near a belt at this. It's the fuck. What is it called? I don't know. I hate the cup.
Point being is that when you win like the tag team tournament or the Dusty tournament or that cup that Nam Dar has, like the winners of those are draft eligible. Maybe not you're automatically gonna get drafted, but hey, like you've won this tournament, you're now eligible to be in the draft based off like the accolades that you've done to get there. That way we don't really guarantee somebody getting drafted, but it's like, okay, well, dang, okay, we know that Baron Corbin did win this Dusty Cup, so okay, he might be able to get drafted. Once again, creating storyline implications. Maybe like Baron's like, I got to get out of here, I got to get back to the main roster, so I got to win this tournament no matter what, kind of thing. It brings a little bit more prestige to those like events and whatnot. Then maybe you get snuck. Maybe there's a smaller dude. Maybe I forgot. Oh boy, from with the fucking beard. What's from AEW? What's the name?
Beard in AEW.
Nah, my bad. He's his Brian Pillman's kid.
Oh, Lexus King.
Yeah, so like Lexus King, sneaks him out, and like he makes his way up to the main roster. He's not supposed to be there, but like just sneaking around and like creating like just chaos with like those kind of situations. Either way, point being is that I think that like we got to get more NXT involvement. I was looking at the roster, and the roster is actually not that big. It's actually a pretty like smaller amount of people. So you would definitely have to add more people to where you can lose 6 people a year or 2 years and be okay. But yeah, I think NXT should definitely have more involvement in the draft. Yeah, especially since Ava didn't draft anybody either. Like, what was the point of having Ava in those meetings with Pierce and everything if all she does was lose talent?
Yeah, I think I agree. My last statement. Yeah, I believe for sure. Yeah, NXT should be for the draft. You can make a drafting pool or a trading pool similar to college for like the main roster, and then just have add story implications to all of it. Maybe there's like, again, like you have a loser leave town match, just loser goes the other brand, or maybe someone is, I'm sick of getting beat up by Legato. May I get traded to Raw? Just add things to like add story implications. Like when Jay showed up to Raw, it was because he wants to distance himself from his family and prove that he's his own man, and also just try to be a good guy now. Like that was story to it, So yeah, I think absolutely. So let's get into the next match. We get the Awesome Truth versus Otis and Tozawa of Alpha Academy. There's a part where Miz beats boots the fuck out of Tozawa. That was a dope ass. Because Tozawa like flips. He like does a flip out onto the floor or something. It was nice. Good sell. We get a caterpillar, which was nice.
Yeah.
Otis is, yeah, I can see Otis and Tozawa, if not also Maxine breaking away from Alpha Academy at some point, and then that's when we get the Creed brothers in. I feel like they might get to that because Otis he's pretty over as a face. Like people love him. Yeah, I don't know, he's cool. But anyway, we get a Truth crushing finale and the Awesome Truth win. It was a pretty, yeah, it was
Pretty
pretty
basic match. It was like
pretty big mixed match.
Yeah, it was like a quick little match. Yeah, I got nothing on it. I saw it. I knew what it was for what it was, and I was just pushing the story for Gable and Otis and them.
Yeah, it was a good match though. We get a backstage segment. Priest sees JD's face, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And because his face is purple as hell. And when when my wife and I were watching, I was like, "Man, I," because she was like, "Damn, that's really bad." And I was like, "I feel like some of that is makeup." And then when he took the picture the following day, you saw the ring imprints. Like he did get hit, but that bruising, all that purple and pink, wasn't there. So in saying that, some of it was definitely makeup. And the makeup department did a really good job because it looked like that bruise looked real, like to where crazy. Everyone did the fucking Craig and Smokey, damn, like
yeah.
But real quick, I want to say that to me that implicates that Kevin Owens moment the other week when he was bleeding crazy. I think that was makeup also.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looked good. And that's not to say using makeup is bad, even though there's some old heads in the business where it's like, oh, you're exposing the business. People already think it's fake, blah, blah, blah. But if it looks real and it looks like how Kevin Owens looked, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with makeup. Because, again, it's a TV show. Like, you'll watch SVU or something, someone gets shot, or, watch a show, someone gets their hand cut off, whatever the fuck. If it doesn't look cheesy, if it doesn't look like a sci-fi Sharknado type thing, right. I think it's fucking good.
We're fine. We're good.
Yeah. I'm fine with it. They see his face. They're like, damn. And Priest, again, is like, man, just stay out of my damn business. You guys keep helping. I don't want your help. Just stay out of my business. After that, we get a backstage segment where Becky's walking and she runs into Liv and she's like, you that was an impressive match. You got your title shot. So we're going to get Becky versus Liv. I don't know when, but we're getting that title match. So that's what's up. So Liv is officially the number one contender. Then we get after Liv leaves, Damage Control shows up, and they're like surrounding Becky. Shit. Yeah. Kaye was touching Becky's tile. Don't touch my tile. All this other shit. But that's a thread. Now, I mean, granted, Becky did fight Damage Control one time during the War Games, but she hasn't really experienced that kind of hatred yet, or that kind of ass whooping from Damage Control. So that's something that we can play into, or that I'm interested to see now that Damage Control's on Raw. I'm interested to see how they interact with a lot of these Raw women talent.
I'm trying to think of like the next PLE and where it's at. I know it's King of the Ring in Saudi, but the one after that, which is Money in the Bank in Toronto, right? Or no, what's in June?
We got like 4 more PLEs out of country. Yeah, so we got the King of the Ring stuff, King and Queen. We get Money in the Bank. We got the Germany show, and then we have the Clash at the Castle, I think. Or
well, like I say that because I was like, maybe we don't run Becky and Liv at King of the Ring in Saudi. Maybe you can hold that. Clash of the Castle is in Scotland, and that's in June. And I don't think Becky would lose it there either. I think you want her to kind of hold that into that pay-per-view.
And it also depends. I feel like all this also depends on when Rhea's getting back. Because if she comes back at SummerSlam, then I expect Becky to lose that belt by SummerSlam, or I expect Liv to have this title when Rhea is healthy.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think we're looking at July. I think Money in the Bank. I think you can run Liv Becky. So Clash of the Castle Damage Control can beef with Becky. I just don't want Liv to get in the ring with Becky just yet. Because I don't want I don't know. I just feel like it would be too soon.
Yeah,
she's the number one contender.
They did just fight before Mania. Yeah, they had that match. They had that 1v1 match, and Becky won. And then that's when we eventually got the last woman standing match with Becky and Nia.
Right.
Yeah. I expect this match to end if it happens relatively soon. I expect it to end in a DQ with Damage Control, and then we see maybe Liv and Becky team up for a minute. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like that's also kind of lazy, but I know we'll see. But I expect it to end in a DQ or something.
Something like that.
Maybe Liv finally goes full heel, and then she gets a DQ by going full heel, or I don't know. We'll see.
You could also run Becky Asuka a couple times. That's always gonna hold shit down.
Becky Asuka, Becky Dakota. I want to see that. Becky Io. I mean,
Io. You have plenty of options.
Yeah.
With running this angle.
Exactly.
We then get the last round of the draft. We have Raw taking Final Testament, which I think they should have been in NXT because they were getting the pop they were looking for in NXT, but on Raw, okay, I'll take it. DIY goes to SmackDown. Bronson Reed stays on Raw. And then we get a really dope pick from Blair Davenport going to SmackDown. I just learned about Blair Davenport maybe earlier this year when I was looking up Will Ospreay, and she was part of his team.
I mean, they used to date.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, they used to date, and he broke up with her when she decided to move to the States.
Ah.
At least that's the story that I remember reading. I think they're still cool at all, but yeah, because there's a picture of her wearing an AEW shirt, because I think she did a couple matches with AEW the first year or so.
I learned about her through the United Empire stable. Super talented. I want to see her get used. It's funny she had a real reaction to getting drafted. A lot of the NXT talent did.
Because they didn't know they were getting drafted, which is cool. Which is another reason why I feel we should just keep it with NXT.
Right.
Because those are all genuine reactions.
So shout out to Blair Davenport getting drafted to SmackDown. That's going to be a great fucking talent to have up there. Hopefully she gets utilized. Hopefully all the women get utilized. SmackDown actually has a really stacked fucking women's roster right now. Yeah. Raw has the potential. Raw has a lot of people that if you book them right and build them, you're going to be in a good fucking spot. But yeah, SmackDown.
I think both rosters. I think both rosters are stacked. I give the slight edge to SmackDown only because they have the big three there on top of everything else. But they have literally the big three and Bayley.
Bayley, Nia,
and Tiffy.
They just got Tiffy. They're a little loaded over there. Plus, they still have. Didn't they get Spooky Girls? They're over there too.
No, Spooky Girls went to Raw now. I think because Spooky Girls were already on SmackDown. It's I want to say they went to. I think they just swapped. And real quick, because there was Triple H or someone said there will be more trade, there'll be trades going down the line, because we talked about this twice or so, but Imperium, Ludwig and Tiffany are still on different shows and they're still dating, and I think they finally got an apartment together, so I expect them to be on the same show at some point. So someone's getting traded at some point.
At some point, yeah,
I don't know. But Giovanni went to SmackDown.
If you're split too, that would fucking suck, bro.
Yeah, it sucks because that means you have different.
You never see each other.
Different house shows you got to go to. I'm having a house show in fucking Salem, and you're in a house show in Tacoma, Washington, or something. It's how fucking supposed to see each other,
right. It's going to be a very interesting wave. Hopefully, because they said the trades will start happening by Monday, so. By the time this episode comes out, we should know the night of. We should know who's really locked into where they're supposed to be at. But yeah, other than that, man, I think it's not too bad. We then get the 6-man match with Jay, Ricochet, Andrade versus Judgment Day.
It was a good match.
I felt lackluster to me. That was just me personally. I felt for a main event match, I wasn't as oh damn, this is the main event. It just didn't feel like that to me.
No, I don't think it should have been the main event per se, but I mean, as far as like people getting their shit off, and yeah, I think it was cool. It was cool. I wouldn't, yeah, it wasn't like the best main event in the world or anything, for a go home show or anything like that. But I don't know. I think it sufficed. Big Head fucks up the match. I don't know why, but yeah. And then Jay pins Finn Balor, and yeah, baby faces win. And that's pretty much the end of the show.
Yeah. All in all, not a bad show. We got the wrap up of the draft. So yeah, we'll just see how this shit plays out. See what the Levesque era looks like post draft and what they plan on doing. We got Dynamite.
Yeah.
Before we get into Dynamite, we're gonna take a quick break, and after the break, we're gonna jump right back into it.
Yeah, yes, boy.
Welcome back, everybody. We're now gonna head into Dynamite. It's Wednesday. You know what that means over here. Dynamite kicks off with Tony making a promo saying he can't be there due to his injuries. How he wishes he could be there. That gets interrupted by a pretty dope little like camera spot where the Elite take over the open for the show. That was really cool to see. Just basically a regular AEW intro, but all Elite clips. We get a Swerve promo to open the show. Actually, Swerve in the Bucks promo, because Swerve is calling out the Bucks for how they run the show and that, like, he doesn't appreciate them. Basically bad mouthing them and whatnot. Bucks say that they have the challenger for Swerve for Double or Nothing, and it turns out to be the one and only the patriarch Christian Cage, the only man other than Kendrick Lamar that can stop Drake. So with that,
I mean, I think Adonis does need a new father, so
hey, could be right there. Christian Cage and his team of Nick Wayne, Mama Wayne, and Killswitch ends up attacking Swerve. It was a pretty dope spot. I like the idea of like Swerve's first challenger being Christian Cage. That gives him somebody very seasoned to work with. It's a storyline that they can stretch out for a little bit as far as like, the antics of what Christian Cage is going to do. I would assume that they're going to jump him a couple more times. Actually, at the end of the show, Swerve says that next week he's not going to be alone. So Swerve is going to bring his team. And I'm thinking, like, does that look like the embassy? I would assume that you would bring your own people with you. Those are the guys that you kind of came in with. That would make the most sense that you would match those up with Nick Wayne and Killswitch. Yeah. It's just interesting. I don't have anything negative or bad to say about the angle or who he's going against.
I don't necessarily either. Surprise, surprise. But I do have. I would say I'm more concerned. I mean, I don't know. Concern is a strong word. I agree. I mean, I'm a Christian. I like Christian Cage. I'm just worried that. I'm worried about this feud because of how popular Christian Cage is, and how, like, and this is not a knock to the fan base, but this AEW fan bases, they love heels.
They do.
And they chose Swerve, which is why now Swerve has had to transition slightly to a babyface. They still like him, but this company, like, it runs on heels. Like, this fan base loves heels, and I guess my concern would be like putting him against the Christian Cage, who is stellar on the mic. Fans love him. I'm worried on how the fans, like, depending on how they book it, like the reception, because I can totally see fans turning on Swerve because of how awesome Christian Cage is. And that could happen, and that's going to be a bad look. That's going to make him look even more transitional and all this other shit. But I'm gonna let it play out. We'll see. I think Christian Cage. I think this should be a good feud, and the fact that they actually have storyline implications because they did team together in Wembley. I like that thread. That's what I want from AEW. I want threads. I want continuity. just shit to make sense. I'm gonna let it play out. I think we're in for hopefully we're in for something good. Worst case, the crowd turns on Swerve and they give Christian the title, and then we get Christian as the champion, which that wouldn't necessarily be the most terrible move, but it's also I don't know if we want that.
Christian Cage AEW champion is like he would do fucking numbers. And I'm not trying to end nobody's reign, but like Christian Cage, like that's dangerous. And not even from like a wrestling aspect, just promo and talking and heel work. The crazy part, they ripped the nigga's dread out.
Yeah,
which is wild.
I can't fuck with that. This is the second week in a row I feel like I'm defending Swerve, and I'm upset. But you gotta do more than stomp him out, Swerve. You can't let disrespect a lot, gang. Come on, man. I can't believe I'm asking for you to do something.
Do something.
But
what was the Meek Mill at WrestleMania? Get up!
Get up!
Fuck, man, that's funny. We then get a Cope Open. It's an open challenge for the TNT title. We get Cope versus Buddy Matthews.
Against Buddy Matthews. Yeah, against Buddy Matthews. And that's not me saying that as a shot to Buddy.
No, Buddy Matthews is fucking amazing.
He's great. His fiance, lover to death. But why the fuck is Buddy Matthews in this match?
Story implications.
Story.
Because next week he fights Brody King. It's just leading up until
But Malachi pinned him at Dynasty.
They're saving it for Double or Nothing. You know what they're saving that for, man.
Hopefully they do save it for Double or Nothing. And obviously, and it looks like we talked about it the other week when he got the surprise in his eyes. It looks like he's slightly turning heel.
He is.
If they pay attention to the lore of the Mist. But oh shit, does he join the Black Order? What is this group called again?
The House of Black.
Does he join the House of Black? Do we get Judgment Day 2.0? Early Judgment Day, Judgment Day with powers again. I hope not, because to me it doesn't fit Edge like that. But this is a company.
No, I saw some crazy shit. Yeah. I saw somebody fucking fantasy book The Brood versus House of Black, and I was like, that would have been fucking dope. And you're not getting Christian Cage off of his current storyline, but no, I take Spooky Team versus Spooky Team.
Unless you get the only other cases, I don't know if Gangrel is even in like wrestling ring shape, but I guess you can try to get Gangrel somewhere.
With that, Cope is going against Buddy Matthews. My only thing with this match is that it took entirely too long. It was a long fucking match. It didn't really do much to me for Buddy Matthews as much as it did anything for Cope as well. It's just, once again, a story match to help them build the story of House of Black versus Cope. The ending of this match is pretty dope because it's like they are playing on, once again, the Mist angle. He ends up grabbing a chair to try to take Buddy out. Lights go out. Malachi standing there telling him to do it. Like, go ahead, hit him. You know you want to. Like, telling him to feed into, like, the emotion of, like, the darkness that he's feeling.
The dark side.
As he hesitates and goes to swing back at Malachi, lights fade out again. House of Black is nowhere to be found. So, yeah, we're definitely playing off the storylines of the Mist. That's going to be very dope to fucking see. I want to see how this plays out. Still very early, but AEW is doing a really good job at right now of like telling stories. This is another story thread that we're getting, and hopefully it just pans out. We get a squash from Joe versus Isaiah Cassidy. Nothing really to do with this at all. I think this was just an exhibition of Joe showing that he's still fucking Joe. I do love Private Party, but Joe shouldn't be wrestling Private Party. Like,
no, you shouldn't. He just lost the title, and I thought, it was a match. Didn't need to have.
Yeah,
they could have added another women's match or something. because to me this was like, yeah,
They did nothing.
He won clean to Muscle Buster. They cheered. It was short, but yeah, nothing special. Yeah, it was just a random ass match. Which, I mean, obviously that's part of, again, not a shot. AEW, they sometimes just have matches for matches' sake, but sometimes it can be, depending on the character. To me, it can be detrimental. It's like, why? If anything, Joe. Granted, I don't want to see Joe and Swerve feud again. If anything, like, he should still have championship aspirations. Like, you just lost the world title. You only defended it 3 times. 4 if you count the eliminator. But
it's interesting where you place him, because like I don't think Isaiah Cassidy should have been like Joe's like first like match back after we see him lose to Swerve. I think we should get some promos or something like, oh, Joe's getting back on the scene, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know that like you can't really throw him at Okada. Like I don't want to see Joe lose to Okada just for like the build for Kenny and whatnot. But there honestly is no place to place him right now. Like from my angle, Cope is busy with House of Black. Roderick is going to end up going against Ospreay. Continental's open right now, but they're also doing storyline shit. So I don't know where you place Joe. Like it's a very interesting spot right now.
Yeah, you just kept him off the TV, or just have it back. Yeah, again, this could have been a match for somebody else, particularly a women's match, or just anybody else. And yeah, Joe could have just did a promo saying, I lost or whatever, but I'm still fucking Joe. I'll be back here. I'll get my shit back at some point. And then they could have like started a feud with somebody, like as he's cutting that promo or something. But whatever.
We get an Orange Cassidy promo. Talks about because of what Trent did on Saturday at Collision, Chuck will never be able to wrestle again. They had a street fight. He says whenever he sees Trent, it's on site. Trent comes out. It is definitely on site. Orange goes beelines it for Trent. Trent says, surprise, surprise, Orange is making somebody's injury about himself. As they hit like the edge of the ramp or at the top of the ramp, and security comes out to break up the fight and whatnot, something interesting happens to where Don Callis appears and pulls Orange Cassidy to the side. Now, what the hell does Don Callis got to say to Orange Cassidy? That's the question I left with. What are we doing here? He does want to recruit talent, but what the hell is Orange Cassidy doing with Don Callis?
Hopefully fucking nothing. And I would like to add, because we didn't talk about that. The
Hobbs?
The Trenton. Yeah, Hobbs is injured. Yeah, that's shit. Yeah, we should put that in the news. Yeah, Hobbs is officially injured, and I think he's going to require surgery. So he's going to be out.
So Hobbs is out a minute.
Yeah. But during that Chuck and Trent match, he powerbombed him through a windshield, which is like the 4th, 5th week in a row they're responding to Punk, and you guys got to cut it out. Like it's not.
I gotta check that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, no, he powerbombs him through because it's like if you remember the whole Jack Perry wanting to break a windshield thing, and Punk was like, you can't do that. Right. Rent car, but like they we get the real glass Crimea River. Yeah, Trent powerbombs Chuck through the windshield. Yeah, that is a jab or a nod. That was for Punk. That was to the audience. That was a Punk jab. And it's like, you guys, it's been like 4 or 5 weeks. Like, get over it.
And you survived it. It's been 4 or 5 weeks, and you survived. Let it go.
Yeah, that Ariel interview was before Mania. Mania was now officially a month ago. Get over it. Let it go. It's fine. It's get over it. But anyway. So we can. The next match is when we get Shibata versus Chris Jericho for the
we get a Jack promo before that. Jack says he did what's best for AEW. Says Tony's the one who made him the scapegoat. Says we're entering a new era, the Elite era. Then we get Shibata versus Jericho, and this was actually a good match. It's fucking crazy, man. But I enjoyed this match a lot. There's a kendo spot where he smacks the fuck out of Jericho up the side of the head with the kendo stick. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to hit him on the shoulder, and that one just aimed a little far right and fucking popped him.
Yeah, good. Hear that?
Yeah. For a moment, I did think Shibata was going to win because, like, throughout this entire process, Shibata's putting the fucking paws on Jericho. But we get interference from Big Bill because Big Bill wants to prove that he's capable of being part of the Jericho learning tree, which sets up a fucking crazy ass choke slam through the table. And then later in the night we get a backstage promo from Bill talking about how he wants to be the first disciple of the learning tree. So we are getting some kind of faction of Jericho, which is typical in Jericho fashion. You got to have a team of some sort.
This is like his
contrary
15
to
as well.
Contrary to popular belief in other people, I actually like this angle that Jericho is running. The character that he's running is it's similar to like I said, the fake cult leader. Like, I'm doing this for the world. I love you guys. And he's actually just fucking not. He's evil as fuck. It's like the smile on camera, the fake happiness. Like, it's a good little angle. I like it. We'll see where it goes. I don't want to know how this ties back into Hook. I don't think Hook's part of the story is done. So we'll see.
He has to get his father's title back.
Absolutely. We then get a Claudio versus Brian Cage match. This match I didn't really feel it was a good match, but it didn't move me in any kind of way. It was a good showing from both people. Claudio did a 619, which was dope.
Swiss 19.
Swiss 19. I like that. And then puts Brian Cage into a sharpshooter for the win. We had a backstage interview with Rocky Romero from Renee asking him, how he feels about the Best Friends, because he is a part of Best Friends. He says he's done with the Best Friends drama and is going to be in his own man. He wants to compete for the gold and challenges Kyle O'Reilly later tonight on Rampage, because they did Dynamite and Rampage all in the same day or night.
Yeah. This is like their third time doing that, which makes it damn near like, if you're watching both shows, it's a 3-hour show, which is I'm fine with, because obviously I watch Raw. It's funny to see certain fan bases be okay with it too, because for years I've heard a lot of shit talk about how long Raw is, and I was a part
I hate
of it.
3-hour shows.
Yeah, we talked about it. I think 2.5 is a good fit. That's
perfect.
That's a little less than a Christopher Nolan movie. It's good.
3-hour shows it's long, especially with just ads and commercials and pictures and too much for me. You say 2.5, I'm gonna settle at 2. A fine 2-hour show is all I need. We then get
Mariah May versus Serena Deeb, right?
And this is my second match of the week. First match of the week went to Gunther and Woods. This is number 2. This was a really fucking good match. They closed out the show really fucking well, because this is the main event. It was a great showing. So much technical talent from Serena Deeb. There's flashes of what Mariah May can really do. You definitely saw that in this match. There was a dope teeter-totter submission she did. They called Paradise Lock, which is looked like she was paralyzed and submission hold. It was interesting. I've never seen a Paradise Lock before. Octopus hold, just mad fucking technical submission spots from Serena Deeb. She can really wrestle her ass off. We got a drop kick from the top rope that was crazy. Mariah May has a couple knee spots that was dope. The match finish was fucking ill. Is that Mariah May goes for what looks like a Hurricanrana, and she gets caught in the reverse into a single leg Boston Crab from off the top rope, which is just fucking, that was just great to fucking see. As she's in this Boston Crab, Deeb is bashing her knee into the mat, and then we see the camera pan to Toni Storm, and Toni Storm throws the towel in. I was wondering how they were going to end this match, to where was it going to be interference or was it going to be somebody losing? But Toni throws in the towel, and I think this leads into more story implications of the lack of trust in Mariah May to get out of situations and to finish matches, which is eventually we're leading to Toni Storm versus Mariah May. The child that you brought up is eventually going to end up going against you at some point. I was
the student fights the master. I think I like, because we talked about I think what's funny, because you just brought up how this is one of your matches, and then Xavier Woods and Gunther's one of your matches, and the ending is very similar, or at least it's very close to being similar, because Gunther
is.
had homie in the Boston, and this is not me saying they're copying or nothing like that. This isn't a shot. This is just cool wrestling. But yeah, Gunther had him in like the half crab, and that's when Kofi almost threw in the towel, and he's like, nah, and that's when he turned to STF, and then
that's crazy.
It's similar.
It is,
and it's dope that it's both your matches. So that's cool.
That's funny. I never thought about that, but they definitely ended like similar.
They mirrored each other a little bit,
and they were both technical matches. They were both like submissions and slaps and chops and holds and shit like that. Oh, all right, yeah, you pieced that together. The threads. We then get a Cope and Kyle O'Reilly promo. Nothing crazy here. Cope catches him looking at his title and says, eyes up here. So they're hinting at maybe a Cope versus Kyle O'Reilly match happening.
Which I'm down for that because Kyle is very technical and he's a slow worker. Like he doesn't do all the, fast paced running, blah, 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 which I feel like Edge is trying to keep up with some of the younger guys by doing that. And it's like, Edge isn't the work rate guy. As much as he might want to be, he's not necessarily the work rate guy. And I think Kyle versus Adam Copeland, I think it's a match I didn't know.
Smoker.
I didn't know it's a match that I didn't know I wanted to see, and I didn't even think it was. Even though they're on the same company, it's just one of those things. Like I didn't even know it was possible because I just never thought about it. You just never. It's like, oh shit! Now, actually, I kind of want to see that. I
think that'd be great.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good ass match. That's worth a main event of a Dynamite to me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Finally, biggest part of the night, Kenny's home. My man Kenny Omega is back into the AEW folds, not at a competing level, but he's in his hometown, or no?
Close.
He's in Canada. Yeah. I won't say hometown.
I mean,
Close.
He's from Canada. I don't know what part, but yeah.
Kenny's home. He gives an update on his current condition. Says that the doctors say it's not a simple process. He tells the crowd that he is diagnosed with diverticulitis, which is it has something to do like your intestines.
Yeah.
So it is a very serious fucking.
And he's going to require surgery. So yeah, we're not going to see him back for a minute.
He says the doctor said he could have been out 6, 12, or the rest of his life with a colostomy bag. He says he's watching Dynamite from home and that he was shaking and having like these withdrawals, and he didn't know if this was like him being afraid to wrestle or him missing wrestling, but it was just more so the aspect him wanting to get back in the ring. It was just the hunger. We then get interrupted by Okada, who comes out. They speak. He does a little opening in Japanese. He says, "Oh, my old rival's here." XYZ, just acknowledging that Okada's here and that maybe, how about in a couple of months we get this rivalry, back popping off. So it says from that, it's like, in a couple of months we might see Kenny and Okada. I would expect the same time that we were expecting to see like Rhea come back, Kenny should also possibly be back. So somewhere around August, I believe we'll see Kenny. Hopefully, best case scenario, we'll see that.
Yeah, I don't know how we'll. Yeah, it's a hopefully, and it's one of those matches where obviously Kenny's on a shot clock as far as like how long he'll be able to go, especially with this particular work style. So I feel like it's not a dream match because I feel like we've already seen this match 4 times, but we've never seen it in AEW. So if he does come back,
and that's what he said.
Yeah. If he does, when he comes back, I don't say if he does because I'm assuming he will, assuming everything goes well with surgery and rehab, etc. It's a match that will probably get relatively quick, which has pros and cons, but it's a match that would deliver more than likely for sure. And it's a good tease. I think gives fans something to be excited about.
It is. This was definitely a tease. And I think, like you said, we don't know the capacity of how long he's going to be able to do the style. I think you kind of have to get those ones out the way. It's like, yes, we love the story. Yes, I would want to see the build for sure. But if Kenny's on a clock, give me everything I can get before he sits down. Jack Perry interrupts. Ends up attacking Kenny with the microphone. Ends up knocking out some security guards with some chairs. bashes Kenny with some knee strikes in the gut. Kenny's doing a really good job of selling, like, you know, the injury. Kenny starts fighting back. He ends up hitting him with the Snapdragon, which is one of my favorite moves to see. I don't know why I love that move so much. He goes for the V-trigger and gets caught up on the ropes by Okada. As he's distracted with Okada, Jack Perry takes the chair and jabs him to the stomach, crumbling fucking Kenny. And then as Kenny's sitting there in pain, the Bucks come out looking at, you know, Jack like, hey, what the hell are you doing? This is our friend. You can't be doing this. This is our guy. As Kenny's is working his way up, he's grabbing the legs of his friends. They hit an EVP trigger on him. Leaves him crumpled in the middle of the ring. FTR comes out for the save, or to save Kenny, which is also crazy that FTR is coming out to save Kenny with the history that they have.
Yeah.
And then the refs come out, and that's the show. Side note, this carries over into Rampage, and as like Kenny's being stretched out on like the hospital stretcher, they catch him on the way out, and like, or the Bucks catch him on the way out. It's like, hey, it's nothing personal, you know, he's just our friend. He's like, or Matthew is saying like, oh, you know, maybe it's Nicholas.
I don't know.
The younger one. It's the younger one. The younger one is like, hey,
Them niggas look the
you know, we
same
said we
age.
wanted to change the world. No, they're not. That's crazy. He's like, you told us we wanted to change the world. We told you we wanted to change the world and whatnot. We're doing it. And they flip this man off the goddamn stretcher, drops him onto the fucking concrete, and that's how they treat their best friend. So there will be some ramifications for the Bucks for sure. I don't know who comes out to stop the Bucks. It leaves a very open-ended question of like, what's the team? Who is going to be the feud for the chaos that's happening with the EVPs and Okada and Perry? Like, what does that look like?
Does this lead to blood and guts? Also, like, yeah, who's on the team? Because, all right, so I'm looking up diverticulitis or whatever the fuck. For most people are able to return to their normal activities within 1 to 2 weeks. Now, I'm assuming I'm assuming normal people is quote unquote not wrestlers, but it may take up to 3 months for a full recovery. And that's on top of him already, you know, being out of the ring for a while. We don't know his workout routine. We don't even know if he can work out. But in saying that, yeah, it said 3 months. So let's say if he had the surgery literally like this week or tomorrow, yeah, there is a chance we could see him in August. If not, hopefully, my gut,
whatever he's been doing before.
Yeah, my gut says maybe November. If we don't want to rush it, because we shouldn't, because I feel like when he last returned, he was like he showed up with Kota Ibushi, who's also injured, because so he won't be on the team, so we can't get Golden Lover Boys. But yeah, when he showed up after that one injury, he literally showed up in duct tape before they won trios titles or whatever. Like that man, he had a bodysuit on, it was wild. So yeah, I don't want him to rush, especially because he's one of their big he is, I would say, since Punk is gone, he's one of their biggest stars. I would put him above Moxley.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you don't want to rush it, and obviously he's like 40, or he's close to 40. Anyway, yeah. So hopefully we see him by November.
So All In is in August, right? That's where at the best, if you were the snowball's held in chance that you are at your top physical peak from the injury. We'd love to see him come back and All In. If that does not happen, that's okay too, because the next 4 are All Out, Wrestle Dream, Full Gears, which is in November. So you have 4 fucking pay-per-views that he could possibly pop back in at, you know.
Yeah.
Full Gear would probably be the one that I would lean into more, come back in November and just wreck shit. It's also crazy because we're getting into Double or Nothing's in May, and then we got Forbidden Door in June. So be on the lookout for those kind of storylines being built too. And we're starting to already get a little bit of those. There's been some that has happened with or it's currently happened with some of the Stardom talent fighting in AEW right now. So just be ready to start seeing like surprise in AEW for sure.
Yeah, and do you have the schedule of their pay-per-views?
I do right now.
Okay. What? Why is my computer blocked? Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I would do what they did this Wednesday, and I wouldn't bring them back at a pay-per-view. I would bring them back. I would bring them back before a pay-per-view, and I would do it in Canada. You want the biggest spot possible, and yeah. So I would do it in Canada when he's healed. They go to Canada frequently-ish.
I would assume that one of the Dynamites, because Wrestle Dream's in Tacoma.
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume that you probably hit Vancouver for one of the Dynamites or collisions or whatnot. So I could definitely see that happening.
Which if we don't get Swerve versus Bryan for Wrestle Dream
Tacoma,
yeah, then they're fumbling.
That's a miss.
That's a fumble of bag if they don't do that. You got 2 Washingtonians. You better run that shit.
Oof. Yeah, you gotta run Bryan and Swerve in Tacoma. Have to. Wait. Or do you run Ospreay, Bryan in Tacoma?
I'd do Swerve and Bryan. You could do Ospreay and Bryan too anytime you want. But to have 2 Washingtonian, and obviously Bryan's never won a title match, so it's like, you shouldn't expect him to win, but you never know because But I'd have your 2. Yeah. For me, if I'm Tony, I'm doing Swerve and Daniel or Bryan Danielson during Tacoma. Like, to me, that's a no-brainer. You got 2 Washingtonians. I don't know.
Last year they had it was Christian Cage Darby, so I would expect that your boy Darby is going to be part of this pay-per-view at some point. They did Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre.
If his foot is healed, but also he still wants to do Everest, so we don't.
Swerve went against Hangman. Fuck, Hangman's still out there. Like, there's a lot that can be implemented. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Overall, this AEW show was great. There was a lot, like I said, more storytelling. They're listening. There is threads being made here. I am just like with Raw and SmackDown. I'm interested in all the stories. I don't think there is a bad storyline yet that I felt like is just hanging. Because even like I said, even Jericho's kind of turned that into something for me. But yeah, if it does, I'll be the first one to tell you that I don't like anything because shit just don't make any sense. Mm-hmm. If Joe's next week beefing with fucking Private Party, you will hear me fucking spaz out because that should not happen for Joe. Yeah. We're gonna get into SmackDown. There's no audio break. I think right now anybody who's dropping music, you kind of need to relax because K-Dot killing shit. Yeah. So go ahead and play that K-Dot. He got 4 or 5 songs for y'all to go ahead and just rock to.
Yes,
I'm not stepping away. Go ahead, let's go do Meet the Grims. Euphoria, whatever you got, go play that. Because as an artist right now dropping music, ain't nobody looking for your shit. Nobody.
69 God. All right, so yeah, let's bust through SmackDown. It was a good show. But the best, I feel like the best part was the opening match, and which was the 4v4. We get Bayley, Naomi, Bianca, and Jade versus Damage Control and
Cocoa Butter Combat
Club versus Damage Control and Tippy Time. It was a solid match. You can see the tension between Bianca and Bayley still there, to where Bayley tagged herself in when Bianca was doing shit, and Bianca was not okay with that. And there was a moment where Jade and Naomi weren't ready to be tagged. They were unconscious or whatever the fuck, incapacitated. And then Bayley, the only option for her to choose was Bianca. It almost looked like Bianca didn't even want the tag. She's like, man, I don't want this bitch tagging me. I don't even want you to touch me. Yeah. I don't want you to touch me. And then that's when Jade randomly shows up and takes the hot tag. But yeah, no, it's cool to still see that tension. Faces aren't just instantly forgiven faces. We've seen this.
Hell
Yeah, we've seen
nah.
this already when Jay came back to Raw and Kevin Owens wasn't fucking with it and all that stuff. Like, so stories continue. Like, there's a thread, there's continuity. Like, just because you're a babyface now doesn't mean that you're instantly my best friend. You put me through hell for 2 years, 2.5, I think, actually. But it was some good shit. We get to see some of the tag team offense that Jade and Bianca have been working on during the house shows, which is cool. And we see that again during Backlash also. Every lady, every lady gets their shit off. There's a point in time where every lady like does one of their finishers or a signature. They get their shit off, and it ends with Bianca with a KOD and babyfaces win. Essentially, is there any other spot? Did I go through that too fast? Or is there any other spots you want to talk about?
Nah, no, that's pretty much it for me. It was really dope to see. It was interesting. It was a dope match. Good to see, like, the Cocoa Butter Combat Club do their thing. The Bailey face transition has implications and responsibilities, consequences, and repercussions. That's what I'm looking for. And we're definitely watching the consequences of Bailey's action with damage control definitely play out. It's gonna be very interesting to see what they do with this. They're telling a story between her and Bianca. Because even like, on the other end, Jade and Naomi are like, yo, chill, it's just all right. And Bianca's like, nah, fuck that. Y'all wasn't here. Y'all didn't see this shit. Fuck all of them. My only thing about this is that it was interesting, no EO. Like, where's the EO in this?
Yeah. They I feel like they're cooling her off. Not cooling her off in a bad way, but I mean, we will. She is in the Queen of the Ring and she has a match, so we're going to see her. Yeah, and I didn't see any reports of like any undisclosed injury or anything, but yeah, I just feel like they're letting the other three in damage control cook. EO's still like the leader, even though Dakota's the mouthpiece.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess EO doesn't want to get their hands dirty, which I respect it. So yeah, after that match, we get an A-Town Down Under. They cut a promo on the Street Profits in France in general. It was a good promo. They're really good together. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it was a good promo, but no, I didn't write.
Said it smelled like cheese.
Yeah, it smelled like cheese and shit. Other than that, I didn't write anything down as far as what they said.
Nah.
They didn't say too much. Then we get a backstage promo with all four of the babyface women that just won, and Bianca essentially was like, "I'm done with it. Like, after Backlash, hopefully I'm done with Damage Control. Hopefully, as she's looking at Bailey, because again, yeah, she's fed up. She's been dealing with this shit for like 2 years. She wants to be done with these motherfuckers. And Bailey like walks off a little angrily because it looks angrily, but it's mostly like guilt or grief. It's like, and especially now that she's a babyface, so she understands. Like, anyway, it was a cool thread. Still seeing the threads. Then we get another backstage segment after that where Carmelo says he wants to be part of the King of the Ring with Aldis. And we get a moment with him and Bobby talking.
This was a good promo. I like this. This was the young buck coming up to Bobby and like, just telling him he's here. He's stepping on toes. But Bobby being the vet is like, hey, maybe you should just watch what you say and who you say it to.
Yeah, but before that, he was coming off as a hating ass old head, bro. Like he's like, you can't. He came off as a hating ass old head, bro. And he's like, hey, it's good that you shot, but it's not about the shots that you shoot. It's about how you shoot them or some shit like that. And then Carmelo was like, well, shit, when's the last time you shot your shot? Because
you shot your shot,
yeah, because you came up hating on me, like, bro, I'm new here, I'm feeling myself, and you sitting here coming in here hating. Nah, bro, get that shit out of here. And then that's what.
Actually, just trying to get some advice. He was trying to let the young blood know. I've been in your shoes. I've been trying. Like, I was here.
Unsolicited advice.
I was ECW champion.
No,
like, respect.
No one told your bald ass head to walk into this room and give me unsolicited advice. I didn't ask you for shit. Coming in here and saying back in my day, I don't give a fuck about your day. It's my day. I don't know.
Bobby got to put the pause on him. Which is
he might.
Got to show him the pride.
But yeah, and then Bobby's like, "Hey man, here's some real advice. Just watch you disrespect around here." And which is that is good old head advice, but again, it's unsolicited. I didn't ask you for shit.
I understand I'm driving to this brick wall. I don't need your help to prevent the brick wall. I'm gonna run into this motherfucker. Nah, man, let Bobby just be the OG. Like, hey, listen, man, we run things differently than NXT. That old yip yapping over here, it don't really work out.
It don't work. Yeah, it don't work out for Bobby because he can't talk. He can't yip yap. That's why the nigga hating. He should be trying to recruit Carmelo. Just like how he had Lio Rush talking for him.
Shout out to Leo. Yeah. That was a good. Leo did the best. He did the best he could with that.
He did.
That man Leo.
He was annoying, but he was annoying in a good way. Smells like money. It is money. He's doing all sorts of shit. Bobby, Bobby. He had a crazy ass laugh.
Shout out to Leo. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, bro. Leo, come work somewhere, bro. I need to see you on TV, bro. Tony Khan, Trip, Khan. Somebody get this man.
I don't know, man. Like, cause like him and side tangents, him and Tony ended up on like some. Back then, he left on some. Wasn't really fucking with Tony after what Tony said about Swerve, not Swerve, but Swole, which is fair, because that nigga was tripping. And yeah, shout out to Swole, because Swole's a great fucking talent too. But yeah, so I would love to see Leo anywhere. Yeah, like I saw he actually did the match with Jay.
Yes, which was dope. And that's who I was talking. Like I
put it together when I seen it. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
He went to school with my brother.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna have to try to get him on one day, man. He a local talent.
That was a dope little that was a dope match. I watched cause they put the match up and like the whole the black drool or spit or whatever was coming out of Leo. Like he's playing a character. Yeah. And I was like, this looks fucking tight. Very anime-esque. Very cause even like Jaden with the colored hair and like the superhero element. I'm like, this is some My Hero shit. I fuck with this. But yeah, shout out to Leo. Leo, get somewhere, man. You deserve to be on TV. But he's making a bag. So what if you making your bag and you happy, do you. But we do miss you out on these pro wrestling streets.
Yeah, for real. After that, we get we get New Catch Republic versus AOP, which that's been a thing that's been going on because last week Final Testament attacked New Catch Republic. It was like a really quick one and done thing because it had to do with the draft, and Karrion Kross was like, wherever we get drafted to, you better watch out. And then on NXT during AOP versus I don't remember if it was the champions or who they were fighting, but New Catch Republic came out and got their lick back, which cost AOP the win. So yeah, we get the New Catch versus AOP match here. It was some good team action. Due to interference, though, AOP wins, which it was the right decision. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't know who AOP is. I don't know if they've ever spoke before. I don't think they have. So I'm going to hit you with Tommy Davidson Jr. And who the fuck are these niggas, bro? I don't understand. I don't get it. I like you guys, but I don't know. I don't know. Final Testament, they still need. I like them. I want them to succeed, but they don't get that much of a reaction. Like they barely got a pop when they came out in this show.
Is that nobody is the talker in the group? Like Karrion Kross is carrying the role of being the mouthpiece, but I don't think that's working out too well for him. If I was doing it, I would honestly probably give it to Scarlett and have her be the talker, manipulator, kind of have her point in the direction of where they need to shoot. Because it's just not working. It's not translating well.
Yeah.
You also have Paul Ellering, what is Paul's role in this?
He's supposed to be a mouthpiece too.
This is not
So
I'm not shooting any shots of disrespect to anybody. It's just I need to know who the leader of this group is and who's going to be the mouthpiece. And I think it should be Scarlett more than anything.
I agree. I would say split it up between Scarlett and Paul. Like, have them just go back and forth with each, like, have them be the, like, maybe it's like a father daughter queen queen king type thing, and they rule the shit. And I don't know, but I would have them split up, because otherwise, why the hell is Paul here? Because Paul's mainly here for AOP.
Right.
Like, he was the mouthpiece for AOP.
But like, what is Scarlett here
exactly
for? Like, she helps him get the interference. Like, but like, what's her role in this? And Scarlett's a great character. She's always been the piece next to Karrion that's elevated like his character.
Because
you're wondering like,
yeah, because she's dope.
She's controlling
and,
him.
She's dope and she's attractive. I would like to see her in a fucking ring, because I know she wrestled. I've never seen a match of her, but since she's been a part of WWE, I don't know if she's ever had a legit match. Let's get her in the damn ring. Like, I mean, I don't know. Just, I don't know.
Like, my point being with this is that like AOP needs a mouthpiece. They need somebody to carry the charisma for them and build the character for them, like by talking and being like the mouthpiece that they are. Because it just doesn't work. Like I was mad when like New Catch was wrestling them, because I was like, this doesn't. I don't care about New Catch Republic. I mean, not New Catch. But I don't care about AOP. I love New Catch. Them motherfuckers is tight, but they need to be working people who have story elements to them. AOP was yelling in the ring. I couldn't tell these niggas speaking what y'all Spanish, was it English? What are y'all saying?
Like, I don't know. There's something. That's why like my jokes weren't out of place. They're not. They're some sort of ethnicity that like, so they're not. Yeah, like they're not. I don't think English is their first language, that's neither here or there. But yeah, there's something which that something should be talked about so that we understand who they are. We don't like we, you talked about characters earlier. Like, this group looks cool, but we don't know who you. Like, what is your like? Again, AOP. Like, who? Like, you guys. You're part of this group. It looks like a cult mixed with like a biker gang. We don't know which direction you're going in with that. And then you guys show up, invest, and you don't talk. Like, what? Who are y'all? Like, what is this group? What is this gang? What is the characters that you guys are trying to portray to us? Like, I don't. Like, I like them, but I don't understand the characters, so that's why I'm not fully on board. That's why I complain every goddamn week, because I like them, but I do not like the characters because they have not given us a character. They haven't they're just angry. They're just angry people in black, which like like that's me every day almost. Like I don't.
Shut the fuck
up. So yeah, I just don't understand.
One is Canadian and one is Albanian.
Okay, Albanian. There we go.
But like that doesn't do anything. I still don't know what the fuck.
Doesn't mean anything. And I know
that confuses me.
They both used to be in MMA. I remember that stuff. But again, why are you guys wearing vests in black tank tops? Like, I don't know. I don't know. And yeah, why is Paul there if he's not doing the most of the talking? The group isn't. I don't think this group is going to hit. No matter what they do, even if they put like what a character, even if they like beat up, let's just say Tyler Bate and put him in an ambulance, like that's going to get some heat, but it's not going to it's not going to carry over, because again, we're not invested in these characters because their characters have not been developed. They're not fleshed out. They're just people in black who have black and white screens on some Tony Storm shit, but does it like what are they doing? Like we don't even know what their goal is. Like, I don't know. Last week he was like, we're not going to stop until we get what we want. What the fuck do you want? We know nothing about you. Like, we don't, except that you're scary and used to be spooky, but now you're not spooky. Anyway, I could talk about them forever because I don't understand it. But after that,
I'm trying to think of a character that we could play with them to elevate them. I don't really know who you would pair with them to like bring them up. Like, I don't know what that looks like.
It's like what is Final Testament? Because it started off like Karrion and Scarlett. They were spooky. Like, they had the hourglass. Sometimes they had magic. Like, she shot a fireball once. All this other stuff. But now it seems like they're getting away from the spooky part. So they don't have superpowers anymore. That's fine.
Right.
But why is the screen always black and white, besides it looking cool and giving it NWO / Tony Storm vibes, even though they technically did it before Tony Storm, but whatever. She's the more relevant character right now. So besides NWO and Tony Storm, why is your shit black and white? Who the fuck are you? Who are you guys? What do you want? What is your ambitions?
And that goes to That goes to Karrion too, because Karrion NXT Karrion with the bald head and like that shit was over. Like him fighting with Adam Cole, like that shit
It
was
was over.
over.
I like him with longer hair. He looks more badass to me. He reminds me more of a John Wick character or something. But yeah, even then, I mean, to me, his NXT character was dull too. It was Scarlett that was holding. And that's why when Adam Cole barred his ass up and was like, all I need is a bell. You need all this cool ass shit and a hot lady to be around you to get attention. They just need to ring the bell. You know, and to me, that fucking promo still holds up because till this day, even though Karrion is, I would say he's like 2% more over than he was when he first debuted to the main roster and got released, but he still ain't that over because they're not getting reactions. Like they barely, like in France was crazy all weekend and they still barely got a reaction when they came out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a problem because France was reacting to literally every fucking thing.
Everything. Well, they were getting everybody love.
Yeah.
It's interesting because also with this, both teams will be on Raw next week. So they're going to continue the feud next week. So this is not the last time we're going to see AOP and New Catch. I will say there was a good spot where Bates had one of them on his shoulders. And that shit was fucking crazy.
Big strong boy.
Bates is small and the motherfuckers are big as hell.
After that,
we get the Aldous Heyman promo.
And Heyman slips up and he confesses that I haven't spoken to Roman since Mania. And Aldous is like, what? And he was like, yeah, I took him out of the draft. And yeah, it was a crazy ass reveal.
Paul Heyman has not talked to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania. And that he pulled him out. And they asked him why. He's like, I can't subject Roman to the chaos that's happening with the bloodline. So he didn't call him, not because he was afraid that like Roman would be drafted to Raw. He didn't call because I can't let him know that, hey, shit is real right now. Like shit is fucking crazy. With that, like, when do you think we see Roman again?
I honestly have no idea. I mean, they already announced that it probably won't be soonish. I mean, yeah, man, maybe SummerSlam. Because I don't think he's going to travel. I don't think he's going to go to any of these out of country pay per views. So I would say around the time, probably around SummerSlam, we might get his first appearance.
Yeah, I think we'll get the teaser at Money in the Bank. I think we'll get like some kind of like, oh shit, Tribal Chief called or something like that. But yeah, I think SummerSlam might be the next pay per view we see or hear from Roman. We'll definitely have him on camera by SummerSlam. From there, we have the RKO show. Well, basically, in this Heyman promo, Heyman was telling Aldous that, hey, pull Randy and KO out of this bloodline match. They are in danger. Get them out. This is not the bloodline that you know from before. No. These dudes was brutal. They raw. Stop fucking with them over here. Save them. Help them out.
And
Aldous tells him, nah, you go tell them. You get them to get out the match. We then get the RKO show. KO's talking to Randy about how, you know, he didn't want to bring this guest in and know that they have, you know, beef with this guest, but he wants to hear him out. So we get Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out. He says he came on the show because he has great respect for these men. They competed with Roman for his title. And he understood the rules with Solo Sikoa, but he wants them to understand the rules with Solo Sikoa and Tama are completely different than what they had known before Roman. They should do themselves, their families, and their fans a favor and back out the match. Orton called Roman a piece of trash, and they didn't even consider, you know, pulling out of the match.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Orton then asked a pivotal question of, well, who is the real Tribal Chief? And at that point, that's when Solo comes out and attacks. But that is the question of the day. Who is the real tribal chief? Who's in charge here?
Solo. I mean, it ain't, it's Solo. I mean, storylines still need to be, stuff still needs to be fleshed out, but as of right now, it's Solo. Because if Heyman doesn't have contact with Roman, that means Solo doesn't have contact with Roman. So Solo he's trying. Like, I saw a take on this, and this is just at this point, this is just fan theories or whatever. But Solo is trying. It's not that he's as of right now. It's not like he's trying to necessarily take over the bloodline, but it's like I'm trying to restore the bloodline to the prominence that we once had. But I'm gonna do it my way. Since motherfuckers is gone and they don't want to show up to work, I'm gonna do it my way. And similar to what Punk said to Khan, like, handle it, and if you don't handle it, I'm gonna handle it, and you're not gonna like the way I handle it. And I think that's kind of what was Solo is like. He still wants the wise man because he sees the value in the wise man, but he's recruiting. He's recruiting the GOD, which slight spoiler for his Backlash, but he got Tama, and he gets Loa, and the Gorillas of Destruction. Yeah, man, I think he's just trying to. It's like this might be another Batman reference, but it's like when like when the Valconis or whoever get taken out, and then that's when we get Penguin taken over. And then like the way Penguin is doing it ain't like the normal mob boss way. Penguin's going to do it his way, like all this other shit. So
right.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where we heading, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, story still being told here. They're keeping the bloodline angle strong. My only thing is that, like, god damn, bro, because Roman's reign went on for so long, we've already seen some of these people tangle with the bloodline. To where how many times can we keep running? Orton, KO. I would assume at some point, Solo gonna try to get his lick back on Cody at some point, like, before Roman comes back. Like, we're going to see that happen. It's just like we've already seen a lot of these stories because of a 4-year fucking reign. Yeah. So like I want to know how they're going to, particularly keep this fresh. And that's not only just from the bloodline angle, but also Cody's angle too, because we have seen Roman versus AJ, or in the Fatal 4 with AJ. We have seen, Roman versus KO and Randy. So it kind of limits like what you can possibly do with these stories with Cody as well, without like, doing something completely dramatic and changing like characters and storylines and shit like that. Yeah. So I'm very interested in seeing what they do with SmackDown, especially what they do with Cody's reign, because we have already seen a lot of these people in the title picture.
Yeah. No, I feel it. So yeah, a brawl ensues, and it gets split apart by producers and security, but that doesn't mean it's over. After that, we get a Street Profits promo. It was pretty cut and dry. Street Profits, straight to the point. Then we get an LA Knight versus Angel Garza, and it's kind of similar to how I felt when we were talking about Joe versus Party. It's like LA Knight's having this match just to have a match, which is fine. Like, he's super popular, he's over his shit, so you don't want him don't want him. Yeah,
they fucking love.
You don't want him to be gone for zero reason, but also like, so what? LA Knight's just going to beef with all of Legado now for what? There's no titles involved, or I mean, we need storylines. People need feuds just to have a feud, but I don't know. It kind of seems like out of the blue, but it's just one of those moments where I guess we just got to let it play out. Because
I would assume LA Knight will be Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah,
I think that's why they kind of have to find something to do for him. I don't think he needs it personally.
No,
because he's already over his.
I think he needs a mid card.
But like,
I still think he's going to beat Logan at some point. But he declared him after the match. I mean, let's see.
I ain't got no spots for this match. I just
me either, because at this point, this is what Drake and Kendrick dropped, and I'm gonna be 100% transparent, y'all. Like, I was watching the show, but I was on my timeline, like looking at all this shit. Because Meet the Family Family Matters and Meet the Graham dropped, and I'm like, what? And yeah, that took over the whole last 40 minutes of the show.
Both great fucking songs, too. Great fucking songs.
But yeah, so yeah, LA Knight wins, cuts a promo, pretty much saying he's entering King of the Ring. Santos is like, man, you talk a lot. While you're talking in this tournament, I'm going to try to win the tournament. So yeah, so they both declared themselves in King of the Ring. We'll see if that actually pans out, because Xavier asked to be in King of the Ring, but he's not in this tournament. It's probably because he lost to Gunther on Monday, but anyway, we'll see how that pans out. So based off of this, I'm assuming they'll fight probably in one of the rounds, and yeah, we'll just take it from there. After that, Carlito speaks. Carlito confessed, or he's asked why he did it, and it's pretty much what we all suspected. He thought he was going to be in the Mania match, and Rey Mysterio, who is a piece of trash, deadbeat father, not a good human being. He chose this new guy, the Dragon Lee, who's a baby over Carlito, who helped you last year in Backlash in Puerto Rico. I'm just gonna shoot.
He says it wasn't personal. It was just had to happen, man. You got chosen for me. Yeah. I was here. I helped you. I was in Puerto Rico with Bad Bunny and all that. Y'all, what's going on?
Yeah, and he's the one that,
and rightfully so.
He's the one who's like, yo, Santos Escobar, you can't trust him. And he was right about that. But he's also, again, if
Carlito didn't.
If Rey made better life decisions, we wouldn't be in this life. We wouldn't be in this spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rey.
I will say about like this whole LWO thing is that like we're now gonna get him beefing with Dom, or LWO beefing with Dom, which is like, god damn, can we like get anything else? Like, I need just separate stories, like entirely.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna beef with Dom right, like if they're gonna beef with Dom right away.
Because you can't beef with Dom right now because Dom is injured, but like they're angling that there will be some kind of like connection between LWO.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, they're on the same show, so yeah, you can only avoid each other for so long. But yeah, I feel like Dom is going to be wrapped up with whatever Rhea and Liv is, or we'll see. I don't know, we'll see. But yes, Dragon. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, we don't know. Like, fuck, dude. Honestly, the Legado and LWO might not be done. I don't know. Dragon Lee attacked Santos during this. Santos is going to need someone to team up with, so maybe Santos teams up with Dom. I mean, or something, or maybe Santos goes to Legado. But as of right now, Santos is also, or Carlito is also on Raw with LWO because they all got drafted together. And yeah, right. Dragon Lee. So yeah, we'll probably get Dragon Lee versus Carlito this next coming Raw, the Raw after, or something like that. But yeah, that's gonna be a feud for a minute. Fuck, Carlito. Honestly, now that since we broke down the King of the Ring stuff, Carlito might cost Rey the match and have Kingston win. Who knows?
That would set up Kof versus Gunther.
Yeah, that would.
I think that would. That's a high possibility.
Yeah, I need to see a bracket too before I start making all these predictions. After that, we get A-Town Down Under versus the Profits. I like the way they started the match. It was a good way to cheat. It made it seem like Austin was going to start the match, but then Grayson like did a cheap shot, and I think he started the match, or it was vice versa, something like that. But it was a good way to start the match. Dawkins, he had a good showcase. He had some great-ass offense. That's nothing new. It was a pretty cut-and-dry, simple match, though. And then the fucking A-Town Down Under retains, which is... I expected them to retain, but I'm also kind of frustrated for the Street Profits because it's been like 2.5 or 3 years now that they've been in multiple tag team matches and just they lost all of them. And a huge part of it was because obviously the Usos had to have their reign with the whole bloodline stuff, which it's
true.
Again, as much as I love the bloodline reign, we're still seeing the ramifications of how that long ass reign and how Roman and them had the titles for so long is still affecting all these other superstars. Because it's like, yeah, Kevin Owens, like we talked about, like Kevin Owens has been beefing with the bloodline longer than Bianca was beefing with Damage Control. And granted, each match has been different. I don't necessarily want Kevin to be a part of this shit, especially if he's not going to get a title or nothing. And yeah, with the Profits, like,
Right.
yeah, they've lost every single fucking title match they've been in. And
Yep.
yeah, so what do you do from there? And they've already tried to go the
And
heel route, and it wasn't good, to where they switched them back to face like 2 weeks after, because that's how it wasn't good. But maybe that's
that's the fucked up part with that is that, like, yes, we are facing the ramifications of the Bloodlines reign, and it left a lot of superstars stagnant, right, and hard to get over. And like when you put them in these title matches where like, oh, Profits should win, but you can't win because three of them just got the belt, it then leads to fan speculation where the fans are like, well, the Profits should just break up now. Dawkins is the one why he's losing all the time. It's like, not really. Like, they're just stuck in limbo. Like, it's not their turn for the ball yet. And that's just, what wrestling is. Sometimes it's your moment, sometimes it's not. But it just leaves that reign left a lot of these like superstars in limbo. So we're looking at everybody like as they're underachieving, or they're not getting what they're used to, or not getting what they're supposed to. So it's going to be very hard hill or circle just to climb out of, like, or hold a climb out of for the Profits.
Yeah.
And I hope that they don't break up, because they don't need to. It's just we got to reintroduce y'all to the fucking world as one of the great fucking tag.
And they just the only thing to keep them busy is having a storyline, and it's like, well, they already beefed with Final Testament. They're on Raw now, so that's good. They already beefed with Legado technically, or LWO. It was technically LWO because that's when they were trying to be heels. So we already seen that. So it's like, like, what are they gonna do?
DIY.
Yeah. Oh, man, I don't want to see that either. I mean, it would be a fire match, but like it seems. I mean, if DIY follows Candice and Indy Step, that means they'll play the heel role, which that's fine. But then that just means Profits are losing again. They're just more losses. And it's wrestling. People have to have losses. Like, I watched Seth lose like 8 Manias in a row and shit. But they need to have at least a good story. We need some good stories, because since they've been with the Pride, since they've been attached to Bob Lee, they have not had a good story. No. It was we're just beefing with Final Testament. That did nothing. Beefing with LWO, that did nothing. It was just filler. It was just filler episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, unless you have something else to say about it.
Nah, I was just going over like Profits and like their matches and shit like that, and it's like there really is nothing like here. I mean, they had the Mania, which is, they did great at fucking Mania.
Yeah.
But it's nothing. They had the Fatal 4 at last Mania,
which was good. They won that one, right? Yeah, that's when. Yeah, that was one of the last time we just saw Braun Strowman and shit. And they won this Mania, so it's like it's
they're getting these moments.
It's kind of like the Ricochet effect, where it's like you'll win all these matches, but you won't win any match that is important. So it's just it's just one of those things. It's wrestling.
Man, that's kind of crazy.
They just need to be in a good storyline. Wins and losses don't necessarily matter, but just put them in a good fucking storyline. So that way the losses don't make me upset. Because, I did not expect them to win these belts. But then again, you should, then, I don't know. We'll see. I trust Triple H. I'm going to let it play out. And I know Triple H loves both of these guys. I know he loves all 4 of these teams, so we'll see. After that, we get the last segment. Cody and AJ speak. It starts off with AJ saying some shit. I don't think you're taking this seriously. I don't think you have my attention. Cody's like, I have your attention. We both Georgia boys. I watched you TNA, and then AJ cuts that shit off. He's like, I don't need to hear all that shit. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear I grew up watching you. I don't want to hear all that. Ain't about all that. AJ was spitting. And then at some point, they talked about how they obviously traveled away. AJ throws a Stardust shot at him, saying, how you left. It took me forever to get here, to get to where I'm at, and did it all by myself. And we get a Too Sweet reference where Cody tries to go for a Too Sweet. It looks like AJ's going to do it, but he slaps the shit out of him.
Yep.
And that was pretty much the end of that segment, which
that was it.
And then the show ends with the Bloodline versus RKO KO. still fighting, having a backstage brawl. And yeah, the last scene or last shot before the screen fades to black is like, yeah, Randy Orton hitting Solo with a chair and shit. And I'm like, that's a good way to end the shit. Similar to how Raw ended the other week with Gable still having the ankle lock held.
The ankle
like,
lock,
yeah,
yeah.
ending the show with violence. I like that.
Overall, decent
Yeah.
show. As far as like a kickoff into a pay-per-view, I didn't feel like it had that level of energy, but it was still like a decent show. The crowd was fucking nuts. The crowd, as a matter of fact, carries that energy into Backlash, and I think they make this pay-per-view way more entertaining because of how amped they fucking
Yes, absolutely. And the matches were good, but the fans,
they were good.
Fans helped. And speaking of the Smackdown show, the fans were so loud during that show, which they love AJ Styles. They have a whole phenomenal song for him. They love Cody Rhodes. They sung all his lyrics. They sung all of Randy Orton's lyrics. And this is on Friday and on the pay-per-view, and or PLE. And these fans are great. And on Friday they broke. I don't know if you guys, if you have Fitbits or Apple Watches or whatever, if you're in a place that's super loud, sometimes you'll get a notification saying, yo, this sound is so loud it can actually damage your eardrums. And that actually happened during that Friday show, to where people got alerts on their watches and phones and like, yo, the sound decibel is super loud, wear earplug, like that's how loud those fans were.
Protect yourself.
Like the fans were so loud. There's multiple shots, especially during Backlash, where they're so loud, they're so hyped, the camera is shaking. That's not a special effect. That's not a cameraman just moving his arms. Like, they were so loud that the fans, like the camera was shaking. Cody Rhodes during the promo with AJ was like, I couldn't even hear what you said. Like, just like how when people boo Dom and you can't hear him speak if you're actually at the show, Cody Rhodes couldn't hear the dude talking to him in the ring. Like, these fans were so. France was dope. And we'll talk a little more about it when we actually talk about Backlash.
Absolutely.
Which we're about to.
With that being said, though, that show, this is the pod. We will catch you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoy episode 15. We're going strong still. The shit is fucking great. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here. We'll catch you guys in the next week's episode. So keep it chill, keep it relaxed. We'll see you guys later.
Sweet.